Hello, noble ones. Let's go. In ancient Greek. Nolan! Nolan. You know what I got here, Nolan? Wait. We've got Nolan. Nolan, I'm back. You can't get rid of me, Nolan. So, here, ladies and gentlemen, noble ones, we've got a coffee. You know who drinks coffee, Nolan? Well, Americans, Italians, Brazilians, Colombians, you know. Greeks! The country of people you have disrespected, not that you'd care. I mean, this is Nolan we're talking about. His mind is as soft as his these days. Enjoy. Starting the stream strong. Good evening, Mr. Flow 95. Greetings from Italy. Hello, where in Italy? Let me know. Thank you so much. Ray Gonzalez, my man, you're great. Thank you for the 5 Metatron gift memberships. Really appreciate that. You have no idea what I've prepared for today. Oh my gosh, the stuff we've got, my friends. Oh, the stuff we've got. Because Nolan, I will never stop. You do understand that, right? Like, there is no professional help that can restore my mental sanity anymore. It's gone. It's finished. Love from Serbia. God bless you, my friend. Sam, to you. Big Sofo 410. Can't even read numbers, you see? Thank you so much for subscribing with Prime on Twitch. Shuwumbino. I swear your names. All right. Oh, you know who's messaging now? Sydney Watson. I'm just receiving. I love that. You know, I love Sydney Watson. She's amazing. But goodness gracious, there we go. Goodness gracious, she's one of those people that when she needs to type something, she types a sentence, sends, types a sentence, send. So at the end, you get ding, 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 instead of one single block. But hey, you know, we respect everyone's mental condition here. Mine being the most effed up of all. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All right, good stuff. So, how's it going, guys? How's it going, noble ones? How is it going? Who's Nolan? You ask. Now, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, who's Nolan? Who the heck is Nolan? Who the heck is Nolan? I mean, we're talking Achilles, we're talking Menelaos, we're talking Agamemnon. Who the heck is Nolan? Who the heck is Nolan? Yeah, I'm live, all right. I'm live, all right. Even from France land. Lovely, lovely. After watching your videos, I decided not to go see Odyssey on. You know what? I'm gonna have to watch it because I have to do the review of the full thing. Because you know I will. That is, if it doesn't get cancelled, which I'm still hoping for. I hope that the backlash is so monumental that he cancels it. I hope it. Not gonna happen, I don't think. But here we are. Man can dream. So I'll have to. I'll have to go watch it. I'll have to go watch it. Nadog1011. God, I love your humor. You beautiful cheeky Sicilian bastard. Yeah, I accept that. I accept that. Isn't that nice? Like, you know, Sicilian, bigot, far right grifter. I have so many titles these days. I love it. By the way, guys, did you see that? So, apart from triggering the Nolan fanboys, of course, but with all my Odyssey, what would you call it? Season, yeah, seasonal drama. We're only on season 1. I'm planning 5 seasons. So I've upset, of course, the Nolan fanboys. I mean, that's obvious. But I've also, of course, upset the Afrocentrists because how dare I call her Helen of Congo, which is hilarious, and I'm gonna keep saying it because I know it upsets them. So Helen of Congo. Yeah, so I said it, and they hated it. They hated it. There are videos popping up now calling me racist because of it, and we're so gonna reply to each and every single one of them. I'm gonna milk this. I think there's gonna be more milk on my channel than there is in this coffee, even though it's a macchiato, un caffè macchiato, ladies and gentlemen. You know what they say. You know what they say, and you should see me on X. I look like an absolute lunatic. On X, I look like a lunatic for the kind of posts that I make. And the more they shame me, the more of a troll I become. It's fantastic. Can I get one of those coffees? It looks good. It is good, my friend. It absolutely is good. Thank you so much, Bad Hombre, for supporting the channel, digging you your tea. Good shirt. Oh, yeah, up the irons. All the best for you and your family from Montana. Visit absolutely gorgeous. I saw a video fake, surely, that Odyssey cancelled. I may have seen that. We'll check it because, you know, a man can dream. A man can dream, so we'll check it. It's among the things for today. I've got a lot of tabs, not as Mongol level, but I've got a lot of tabs. So I think we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do great. I'm happy the champagne socialist is in hot water again. Yeah, I know. It should be like hot boiling oil, but I'll take water at this point. It's one of those things. It's one of those things, my friends. Greetings. Yeah, so you said that. I read that. How are things on good afternoon? Good afternoon to you, Brandon P44. Yeah, so that's great. More milk than a dairy ranch. That's me, all right. What's your view on a mochaccino? Mocha. Well, mocha meaning like chocolate. I'm not a huge fan of the combination of chocolate and coffee. That's just me. So all forms of mocha, whenever I do drink them, I just have to tell myself it's not coffee. It's like a coffee inspired, a bit like Nolan's Odyssey, has nothing to do with the original material, just adds whatever the heck he wants in it and calls it a coffee. Coffee. So yeah, that's what I usually do, like with the likes of Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, although they do have great donuts, I'll give them that. Boston cream being my favorite. So it's one of those things. Live streams ads. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I kept it medium. So that's what I get to choose with the ads. I can do like intense, medium, light. As of now, I'll put medium. Let me know if it's too much though. Yeah. Coffee and milk, that's what I like. That's what I like. And I never put sugar in my coffee because I'm a man. Something Nolan will never be. Anyways, what do we got today? So, today, let me close this. By the way, did any of you recognize the music that we put? Or are you too young? Someone is saying Helen of Wakanda. You know what? I would have had zero problems with Helen of Wakanda. Why? Because Wakanda does not exist. Troy, however, did. And so did the entirety of the country of Greece, with all the city-states. So there's that. If they just called her Helen because it took inspiration from the classics, but it's a story about Wakanda and the most beautiful woman in Wakanda. Do that. Do it. Do it all day. Who cares? He could have used Peter Connolly, Hellenic Armors. Oh, yeah, I know, Hellenic Armors. I talked about it. Or Giuseppe Rava for reference. But no, he just had to make crap up. You're absolutely right. Gotta pay for the diapers, my friends. Gotta pay for those diapers. Gotta pay for those diapers. Yeah. So, let's see. My favorite Chinese dynasty, Ming. The Ming dynasty. Ming Chao. That would be my favorite. Totally. How are things on Rumble, by the way? How are things? Oh, I said Rumble now, so this video is going to get blocked on YouTube. Cold Jungle Media, thank you for the support. Get your Teddy some jammies. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I just learned that they are naming an aircraft carrier after Doris Miller, and people are calling it a DI move. If it's true, I think it's the first time anything good came out of the DI movement. I haven't got a clue what that means. But, yeah. Achilles is now a woman. Bravo. I mean, we still don't know that. I know we've been trolling over it, and I've watched all of those AI-generated videos, which are hilarious. I freaking love them. With Helio Page being cast now at everything, and then getting... I love it. But we don't know. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. He's not going to do it. It's gonna be something else. It's gonna be something else. And then they're going to have a way to twist it around. They just let that one slip as like all possible casting choice just to generate, a reaction so that people talk about it. I think it's all on purpose. He's never going to do it. He doesn't have the guts to do that. Achilles as Helio Page, not a chance. Not a chance. Not going to happen. Have you seen Dank Prompts, AI shorts? I think I reacted to one, yeah. They're really funny. I think I saw, is he the one that did an AI short with Achilles entering The View episode with again beating up Goldberg? That was gold without the Berg. And I might react to it live actually, because if it's, I don't know if he's the one who does it, but oh my gosh, that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. Hey, thank you so much on Twitch. We've got some activity on Twitch, and thank you for gifting 5. Why am I so slow at reading this stuff? Gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much, my friend Sarah. I really appreciate your generosity. Bad Hombre says, I like my coffee hot, black, and bitter, like my heart. Oh God, Grace Jones. Thank you for becoming a citizen of the United States. Welcome truly to you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. On that note, so yeah, my citizenship is happening next in June. I'm gonna keep it private when it comes to the day, but it's happening in June. So I've been studying for it, which is one of the reasons why, for those of you who have been asking about the delay in the finishing and publication of my book, which I've been talking about quite a lot, it's because, well, one, the fact that I don't sleep. I don't sleep. I don't even know what sleep feels like anymore due to the newborn baby edition, Alexander the Great. And also because of I'm studying for the citizenship. But as long as the citizenship is done and we're getting used to a schedule with my heir that allows me to get a little sleep, I will get back to it and I'll finish the book. So it's happening, guys. Just sorry if I had to put it on pause a little bit, but your support is a lot through the crowdfunding, which was another one. You know how Redditors live. Redditors, guys, I gotta show you this because Redditors crack me up. Wait. It's great. It's glorious what I'm about to show you. I don't know if it feels like a flex. I'm not trying to flex. Well, maybe, but on the Redditors, never you. You are, guys. You're the top. You're the cream of the cream. You're fantastic. My support is everything I have. I owe you. Okay, so not flexing to you, but I gotta do it. Where is it? So Redditors have been saying two things. They've been saying that this is not working. They've been saying that I failed my GoFundMe for my book. It's literally, it's there. It's like, oh, Roger failed it. Oh, really? With all the supporters you have, you only raised $2,000, which even that, I mean, even if I raised $2,000 off of it, I'd be grateful for it. You know how much people have to work, regular 9 to 5s, particularly in countries like, Italy or Greece, to make that money. So I would be grateful for it anyway. So this idea of trying to shame, but whatever. But the thing is that it's not even true. It's not even true. The thing was an enormous success. So let me see if I can find it, because I do want to kind of shout out all the people, that have been. Let's see if I can find it. Goodness gracious, I can't find anything today. Let's see. That's what you get when you catch me live. I edit out all of this dead air, but here you are. You clicked. So here we are. Let me see if I can find it. Of course, if I prepared, but this is the spontaneity. This is what you get when something is nice and spontaneous. So I think I found it. Why am I not making things easier? And I don't know why it doesn't. It's like, great. Thank you for not. Finally, I freaking found it. Goodness gracious. So anyways, they've been saying that my crowdfunding was a failure. And they've also been saying that I only make sense on X with my posts. I post every hour. And they're like, oh, look at him. He's a failure. He's a failure. Well, look, I think almost $20,000 isn't a failure. They live. I mean, I'm very grateful for this, by the way. I really am. Thank you very much. This is to launch me into an author, which, by the way, doing a crowdfunding to launch a new book, it's normal. Everybody does it. Like even someone as successful as Jason Kingsley has done, he did it. He did it as well. Everybody does it. Like a lot of people do it these days. It's nothing shady or weird because, of course, creating a book has a cost. You need to pay for a lot of stuff, and it helps. It helps also to gauge interest and whatnot. So already the idea. But the fact that they live in Fantasyland, they live in a separate reality. How is this a failure? How is it? Thank you for the awesome pick. I appreciate that. How is this a failure? $20,000. You're joking. This is insane. This is like, I am very humbled by it, by the way. Again, not trying to flex. It's just that I want to say thank you. Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. I need to make sure the intro doesn't replay. So there is that. And then when it comes to to X, okay, I'm not going to show it on screen now because I don't want to make it sound like I'm flexing or anything, but I showed how much I made on X with the posts, okay? I showed it on my X account, so if you are curious, you can go and check it out. But it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they live on a completely separate world from us, and they think it's real, and they revel in it. But it's not a real reveling because it's poison. It is poison, isn't it? But Nolan, I gotta say, has been paying my bills lately, and I love it. All right, so getting back on track so we can what book? I'm writing a book on how to become fluent in foreign languages. It's mostly written. I've written the whole thing, all 8 chapters. It's just that I'm going through the painstaking process of self-editing before I send it to a professional. And Iron Maiden, absolutely, my friend. Thank you for being such a friend to Greece. Efcharisto, says Lady Likos. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You rock. Greek people rock. I'll never stop saying it. And here we are. I am, yeah, you told me I read about your coffee preferences, which I love to hear, by the way. Nolan. Yeah, Nolan is a muppet. And I'm almost done with my coffee, so we can get started. One thing I want to say, I want to give a very brief shout out. That was good coffee. That was great coffee. Little brief shout out. So you know that recently I made a video response where I attacked all sorts of arguments from the lady of the library and her video of the Odyssey. I recently made a video. I imagine you watched it. It got decent views. So anyway, it seems like she's going to respond. And she made a post about it. So I just wanted to give her a shout out. So she says, hi, Metatron here. And she says, well, someone says, I'd like for her to respond, but I don't think she will. To which she replies, oh, my dear gentleman, you don't have to threaten me with a good time. A video will take a few more hours to edit. Tell me about it. I mean, her video, 1 hour and 15 minutes, the one I made. It took forever to edit. But hopefully I'll be out tonight or at latest tomorrow night. And remember, she says, this is all fun and genuine debate and banter. There's no need of space for personal attacks on anyone, nor generalizations. Let me interpret. By generalization, she means people calling me a fascist, a Nazi, that kind of stuff. Please keep it civil and kind as always. You know, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and I'm really looking forward to her response to my video. So I think that's nice. And it's also nice that for a change, at least we, the creators, can show that even though we belong to completely different political ideas, that we can be respectful and decent. Now, when it comes to some portions of our audiences, we are both, in this case, I'm going to give a credit, and I did it too on my video, we're both saying, don't go and harass, don't go and attack, don't go and do. So we did that, but there is always that sub-percentage of the audience, many of you didn't, right? But there is always that small percentage of the audience that still does it. On my end, as she has seen and complained about fairly, and on her end, because a few people in her comments went insane about me, calling me all this usual stuff that, you know, it is what it is, guys. It comes with the job, you know what I mean? It's in the job description. I don't care personally, make me laugh, but I hope that she doesn't get attacked too much personally. Attacking arguments, though, every day, all day. All right, so Bad says, who's your favorite artist? Musical, canvas, literature? Good luck with that sleep thing, I know. I'm retired after 50 plus years of chainsaw, locomotive engineer, firefighter, sky patrol, ditch digging. Oh, goodness gracious, this man. Man, you're like a hero. Favorite artists, but it depends. I mean, painting-wise, I like Raffaello. It's my favorite. Also my name. And then I would say music-wise, I like Metallica, but old school, Iron Maiden. I'm a metalhead, so there's that. Stratovarius for epic metal, like it very much. Literature, everything ancient, Greek, honestly. This is my stuff. So anyways, thank you so much, Thomas. My contribution to the diaper fund. I freaking love the diaper fund, guys. This is amazing. The other day, I got like one person who did two $100 donations, and I calculated that would be enough to buy 1,100 diapers. So there is that. You guys are awesome. My contribution to diaper fun, is it just me, or has Afrocentrism become much more mainstream very recently? The idea has been around for a while, but it seems Hollywood is trying to profit off of it. Maybe, but then again, some try, some don't. I mean, it's still a cult. It's a religion. That's what it is, and a bad one at that. Because you've got true religions, you know, Christianity, and then you've got false religions, you know, Afrocentricity. And the thing about it is that they do behave like cultists. Absolutely, they do. Clip me! And so there's that. Anyways, it's not like, by the way, because you know me, I'm a troll, I speak my mind, but I will say this, it's not like every single thing Afrocentrists say is a lie, but the core principles absolutely are, and I will never stop calling them out for it. I don't even care. And they hate it because it's a cult, so you're not supposed to say anything against the dogma, and within their dogma, any opposition, it's just a conspiracy theory. So any opposition is, oh, he's being paid off, or he's doing it to keep us down, or he's doing it because he's racist. And so you can't separate. There is no such a thing from an Afrocentric point of view as good faith criticism. It's impossible. It's outside their dogmatic view of the world. So it has to be. That's just how it is. And creators prove me right every time they make a video, and it's just poison in the well. Metatron is a racist every single time. Every single time. So what I'm saying, you don't have to believe me. You can believe them because they're literally doing that. And that's the problem with it. But sometimes, like for instance, the fact that I saw this video from an Afrocentrist and he was saying how the Sahara was green. And if you go back a few thousand years, the Sahara was not a desert. So the fact that some people say that the Sahara Desert acted as a barrier that prevented black Africans from the west or the south, the center, to reach North Africa, yeah, depending on when we are talking about, they are right about that. The problem is the indoctrinating nonsense that they push. But there are some things that they say that are correct. It's kind of difficult to find those, though, because, of course, it's all encapsulated within the absolute complete nonsense that they push, whereby everybody was black and all that kind of stuff. For instance, even in ancient Egypt, yes, there were some Nubian dynasties where the pharaohs would have been clearly black, but this idea that all ancient Egyptians are black is false. It's false. Anyways, here's the money I won't be using for Odyssey ticket. I love that. Thank you so much, Blitz. Appreciate your generosity. Hope you can use it for your book publishing. I absolutely will. Everything helps. Everything helps. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Odyssey's cancelled today. I've heard people say it. I don't think it's true, but I'll look into it. I'll look into it, okay? All right, let's jump right into it, guys. We've got a lot of things, got a lot of ground to cover today. So, let's see. Let's get started. You know what? I'm going to look at this first because we can go through it relatively quickly, and I've got a lot of ground to cover today. So, apparently, Elon Musk has had a feud. Elon Musk has joined the fray, and he's on our side, really, against Nolan, but people are getting really upset by it. So if this thing stopped and I could read the title, why can't Elon Musk shut up about Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey? Yeah, he can't, he won't, and he should not. But I know that's what they want, by the way. This title is already betraying everything they're trying to do. They wish they could shut criticism up. Yeah, they do. They really do. Hollywood elites and all of those satanic worshipping demonic circle cultists. That's what they would love to do. But they can't. Particularly, in the UK, unfortunately. It's a different thing. And if you're in England, man, patriot, my heart goes to you. But I'm saying here, in the United States of freedom, no, baby. Absolutely not. So what they do is they try to use manipulation tactics, like the usual stuff that doesn't work anymore. Anyways, that's what they wish. But let's continue. For a full week, the Tesla found that, oh, no, not Tesla. And a heavy poster, apparently, has been having a racist, of course. You are so, it is like book. It's like, oh my God. So predictable. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares anymore. You can call us whatever you want. Nobody cares. Having a racist temper tantrum over Nolan's decision to cast Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy. And he's absolutely right about having that tantrum, because she should have been cast for Helen of Congo, Helen of Detroit, Helen of whatever the heck, Zimbabwe, Helen of whatever but Troy or Sparta, if we're going to be accurate. Am I right, boys and girls? But that's not the rights only issue with the upcoming epic, because of course they have to make it. The reason why they're saying the right, even though there were a lot of left-wing channels that were complaining about the armor in the Odyssey. I didn't know this. I checked it, and it's true. It's just that they stopped the split second that a black actor is cast, because then they tell you, oh no, I don't care about the race of the actor. You just care about the skill of the actor. But that wouldn't apply if it was a Scandinavian playing Shaka Zulu. We know this stuff. So anyways, they have to make it left versus right, because that's the only way they get people who are like left-leaning, but they do like the truth about history. So by making it, no, it's the bigots, then they hope that even those, liberals, dare I say progressive, I don't know, progressives are kind of nuts, but let's say some like liberal leaning people, um, that be like, yeah, but why is Helen of Troy? Like, they would say that, but then when they hear, oh, wait, but it's the bigots saying it, so they make it tribalistic. It's so obvious. You don't need any, like, degree in psychology or stuff like that to figure this stuff out. It's, like, so obvious. It's an open book. But let's read. Last week, in a cover story for Time magazine, Christopher Nolan confirmed a long circulating rumor about his upcoming adaptation to The Odyssey. Said that Lupita Nyong'o does, in fact, play Helen of Troy in his film, which revisits the tale of Trojan War, hero Odysseus' 10-year journey home. No, it actually has nothing whatsoever to do with the Trojan War hero Odysseus, actually. Nyong'o will also play Clytemnestra, I can never pronounce it in English, Helen's half-sister in Greek mythology. Before continuing, because we still have to get to the bigotry, right? But before we do that, this actually came to me. If Nyong'o is playing, I keep thinking I'm saying Japanese in Japanese, Nihongo, whatever. If she is playing both Clytemnestra and Helen of Troy, does that mean that there were two faces that could have launched 1,000 ship? Because if that's the case, couldn't the freaking Trojans marry the sister? Do you know what I mean? If they look identical. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense that there are two faces that can launch 1,000 ships. Marry the one that wouldn't cause, the war. Also, wait, if Clytemnestra is black, how? I'm really confused. Because then we're gonna have like some of the actors who are then white, but if they're related to Clytemnestra, how did that happen? Are they adopted? Man, this is getting stupid. It gets stupider or more stupid the more we read. I love it. Sorry, that was bringing egotistical rock on set. Appreciate that. And no, don't worry. Oh, not at all. No, brother. You're a firefighter. That alone, you're a hero, my friend. Alright, let's continue. Once the news became official, conservative commentators began competing to see who would be the most upset about it. And that's me. I don't even care. Like, you can bring in everyone. Bring in the heavy cavalry. Bring in Matt Walsh. Bring in, what's his name? Michael Knowles. Bring in Amala. No, I don't even see them. It's me. I'm the king of the grift. I'm the king of this grift. Like, I made think before you sleep. Friend of the channel made a few videos. Sydney Watson, she's working. She's getting that, but no. It's me. That's me. I'm the one. Anyways, let's see. Matt Walsh, a podcast host on Ben Shapiro's Do You Really Struggling Daily Wire. Look, I don't watch Ben Shapiro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the last time I watched Ben Shapiro was like 4 years ago. Not really my kind of content. Matt Walsh, yeah, I mean, sometimes I watch him. I know what you're gonna think, but the reality is I don't spend much of my time watching political commentators, the only exception being Asmongold, because he cracks me up. Okay, he's the king, and he cracks me up. I love his humor. It's probably the reason why I watch him, and also because my wife watches Asmongold ever since he reacted to me, and she watched that reaction. She loved it, and so now she watches a lot of Asmongold, which I think is great. My wife is based. Anyways, yeah, I mean, but it's funny that they have to say that Ben Shapiro's struggling Daily Wire. Is he struggling at this point? I need to fact check everything because these people are absolute filthy liars. Ben Shapiro. Let me see the struggling Ben Shapiro. If it's true, it's true, right? If it's true, it's true. What do you guys think? Is he struggling? Ben Shapiro, 10,000 videos. Holy moly, man! I gotta push up the. So what have we got? Views, 20,000 views, 23 views, 200,000, okay, 30,000, 300,000, 20. Okay, so the pattern is, as someone who is a content creator, right? The pattern is his long videos get a lot of views, his short videos don't. It's really that simple. He posts twice a day. I've already analyzed everything. He posts twice a day, right? When the video is like an hour, he gets 200,000 views. If the video 6 minutes, it gets 20,000 views. It's that simple. So basically, his second upload is just a little bump up, but the vast majority of the money that he makes is from his long, very long form videos. That's what it is. Now, is this a failing channel? Well, to be honest, the short content 40,000, 50,000 for a 7 million subscriber channel is pretty bad. And in general, yes, for a 7 million, you would imagine that 700,000 should be the average of his big videos. So maybe, but this is still a fuck ton of money, just so we're clear. Guy's not struggling. And to be fair, this is happening to a lot of people, me included, that the views are kind of weird these days. So I don't know if Daily Wire is struggling or not. I don't really watch the content, as I say. If I have time, I will play Heroes of Might and Magic 3 rather than watching the Daily Wire and whatnot. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let's have a drink. Someone is saying, you just called him a nut. Who did I call a Nazi? I didn't even use that word. Was one of the first to make a racist complaint about the movie's cast. Let's see the racist complaint. Open quotes. Not one person on the planet actually thinks that Lupita Nyong'o is the most beautiful woman in the world, close quotes. So that's Matt Walsh, right? Look, let's be real about this. Let's be real about this. Is this a racist comment? It would have been if he said, not one person on the planet actually thinks that a black woman. That would have been a racist comment. This is not a racist comment. It's a comment of personal preference. I have to say, yes, Sydney Sweeney is 50 times more attractive than Lupita Nyong'o. And I know the Afrocentrists will say that that's a racist comment. It's not. In fact, I'm gonna go further. I'll show you. Let me see if I can find. Oh, you know what? I just think. What's her name? Okay. I think Amala Ekpunobi is a gorgeous black woman. I think she is more good looking, meaning like 5 times more good looking than Lupita Nyong'o. I said it. Not gonna take it back. Who cares? Who cares? Like, it's personal preference anyways. But the reality is, whatever Matt Walsh was trying to say here, I don't particularly care, because I think that this is not even a strong line of attack. The strong line of attack is the obvious one, which I believe he also said. Helena Troy, nor any of those ancient Greek characters of history, mythology, and literature, they were not black. And that's sufficient. Doesn't matter, beautiful, not beautiful, because the problem with beauty is that it can be up to a certain extent subjective. So there are things that you may find attractive, I may find less attractive. You know, you could have a person who's more attracted by a cute girl over a beautiful girl in the sense of standards of beauty that generally speaking men are attracted towards. So because that becomes a debatable aspect, I personally find it irrelevant. But what really matters is that Helena Troy was not black, full stop. It's disrespectful to the Greeks. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Anyways, but Christopher Nolan knows that he would be called racist if he gave the most beautiful woman role to a white woman, Walsh wrote. I mean, yeah, that's probably real. Yeah, probably, yeah. That one I can agree with Matt Walsh. Echoing the prejudiced attacks commentators have made about other recent blockbusters. Nolan is technically talented, but a coward. He is a coward, absolutely. He's a traitor to the West. Musk was already sharing his outrage about the film reportedly casting Nyong'o's back in January, commented, let's see, he said, true. Is that it? On Walsh's post. Okay. Well, to be honest, I've seen that happen to me as well. Elon Musk has liked quite a few of my posts on X, and he even reposted one of mine, which in fact exploded after him reposting it. So massive thanks to Elon. I mean, I'm not going to buy, Elon, I don't mean to be offensive in any way, shape or form. I'm not going to buy a Tesla, okay? It's not, my wife likes them, but it's not really my cup of tea, so I'm more of a Chevrolet guy. I mean, no, like a Corvette for me is, and right now I'm driving a Mercedes. So I'm not going to use it for that, but I appreciate the bump in the revenue. That's lovely. Let's continue. On Matt Walsh post, then continue with some speculation of his own. All right, let's go. Let's see what he said. Chris Nolan desecrated the Odyssey so that he would be eligible for an Academy Award, the Tesla founder said. That's a base take. I don't even care. He's right. Well, did he do it for the Academy Award? I think it's more than that, because when you say that Nolan did it for the Academy Award, then the clowns who are professional gaslighters, they're gonna tell you, technically that's not why he did it, because in order to get the Academy Award through the DEI checkbox, then what he should have done is give a predominant role, as if Helen of Troy, I mean, she caused the freaking wars, but whatever. It would have had to be a protagonist, and Helen is a marginal. Is a secondary character, so no, he didn't do it for that in the gaslighting. I don't think he did it for the Academy Award. I think he did it because he's part of a cult, driven by the devil himself, that pushes this kind of anti-white discrimination. And he did it because he bent the knee, because he's part of that circle that does not accept you unless you follow the dogmatic laws that have been created by said cult. And that's what I think. It has to be. Because he could have cast so many people that would have made sense, but he didn't. He had to race swap. That's how it is, guys. That's how it is. Amen, you say. I know, brother. Only facts in here. Only facts. Let's go. So anyways, Tesla founder. In another post, it's funny that they say Tesla founder as if it's a bad thing. As if it's like a member of the fascist party said, Tesla founder. In another post, he explained his rationale for this ridiculous statement by citing the Oscars diversity rules because they gaslight. It's real though, isn't it? Because if it weren't real, why all of the race swapping? Like, literally, we're not stupid. I know they think we are, but we're not. We can see it. Which were enacted back in 2020. Those rules don't actually mandate that a certain number of on-screen roles be played by people of color. Then why do they do it? Okay, if it's not the rules, then it's right out anti-white racism. It's not like you're gaining points with us with this. They were already in place in 2023, for instance, when Nolan's nearly all-white Oppenheimer. See, and I know that pisses you off, by the way. You wish Oppenheimer was played by a black woman, don't you? Come on, say it. Come on, come to confession to Papa Malaka. Tell me the truth. Sit down, kneel in penitence, and tell us the truth. Confess to the world your sins. We know what you mean by the nearly all white Oppenheimer. Man, if they could, I'm sure they hate it if they could. You know, the mushroom nuclear explosion of a nuke with all the red flames, if they could, they would DI those into black flames. They would. I'm sure they tried. Brothers. I'm sure they tried. I know they tried, and it's glorious. Anyways, let's continue. My brothers. Seems like I'm upsetting some people, so let's go. That's what I want. Upset the radicals. Wonderful. The movie was still later, yes. Conservative influencer Tanya Bass, I don't know who that is. Isn't Bass a type of fish? Has complained that Helen is a, open quotes, historically white character, close quotes, and claims that Nyong'o's casting is tantamount to giving a white person the role of Pocahontas. I mean, she's right. This is racism against white people. She's right. The replies to her post are full of comments pointing out that Pocahontas was an actual historical figure, while Helen is a mythical creation who, according to Euripides' version of the story, was born after the god Zeus assumed the form of a swan and mated with a human woman. Okay. It doesn't work. Just drop it. It doesn't work. First, you're just showing your ignorance. Whoever wrote this vanity article, get unlimited access to Vanity Fair. Not a chance in heaven and hell. You're showing your ignorance because not only half of the stuff is history. The war happened, the battle happened, the siege happened, Troy is a real city. We found it. There was a king. There was the invasion. There were the attacks. There was the stealing of a princess. It's like all of that is real. But even the stuff that is added, that we consider mythology, is still grounded on real cultural norms that belong to the Greek people. So shut it. For Greece, am I right? They're all about representation, except for the entire country of Greece. The conservative backlash against the Odyssey isn't limited to complaints about Helen's casting. Musk is also up in arms about rumors that Elliot Page, yeah, rightly so, you know, the famous transgender character in the Odyssey, am I right? An Oscar nominee will be portraying tragic hero Achilles, calling this, open quotes, one of the dumbest and twisted things I've ever heard, close quotes. Once again, Elon is correct, followed by 2 clown emojis. Clown is perfect. I think one would have been enough, but I don't mind. For days, Musk continued insulting Nolan on X. Oh, Musk did? You've seen nothing. Click on my channel. On Wednesday, he said Chris Nolan is pissing on Homer's grave. I mean, he's right. He's right. Nolan. He's right. He's right. Oh my gosh, he's right. Meanwhile, Kevin Sorbo, another one that, bro, I remember watching Kevin Sorbo playing Hercules back in the 90s. I had no idea. I mean, the guy looked awesome because of, the muscles, the pecs, or whatever, the acting, the long hair. I thought it was cool. But seeing the kind of stuff he posts on X, and now I'm like, bro, this guy. Well, let's see what he says. Who played Hercules, I know, in the 1990s, yes, I was alive, and is now one of the most visible Republican actors, has complained that Nolan's drab cinematography doesn't accurately represent Greece's gorgeous beaches. I mean, that's true, though. Like, this is true even if you are, like, a communist. You're right here watching me, and you're a full-on communist. You even look like one. You look like Stalin. You got the same genetics. This is still true, though, isn't it? It's true. It's true. Open quotes, the DEI is one thing. Nolan is desecrating Greece, the country, as well. Sorbo said. Gross. Yeah. True. True. Facts. Nothing but facts. As writer Claire Willett has pointed out, the outrage itself actually mirrors the plot of another Homeric epic pretty well, the Iliad, in a way. She wrote, it's a she, isn't it? Isn't causing men to crash out because she's even done anything, just proof that Lupita's perfect at Helena Troy. Oh, so she's a men-hating feminist, is she? Why is it only men? Excuse me, there are plenty. Hasn't she watched? I need to ask this question then. This begs the question, guys. I have to ask it. I have to ask this, guys. Is this a man? Does this qualify as a man? Because she made a couple of videos, we reacted. Should I say he? I'm just trying to figure things out. Because I mean, as far as you know what it is. I remember there was this clown once that made a series of videos reaction to me, and he was saying how much of a racist I was, usual stuff. And then he started complaining that I was watching a creator, black conservative, watched him many years ago. And he said literally, you shouldn't watch a creator that like this. And he basically said, if you're black but you're a conservative, you don't count as black. He absolutely said it. But I'm the racist. Whatever. So does this mean that she doesn't count as a woman anymore, from a feminist point of view, because she has conservative views? I wonder. I don't know, guys. You'll have to explain this to me because, as I say, I'm a normie who talks about political issues when they clash with, the Mediterranean and its culture where I grew up and whatnot. What can you say? Almost done with this, though. And then I read the chat a bit. Okay, so, it's men. Men hate it. But while others may also be outraged or performing outrage for clicks, well, I do both, okay? I do both. There is a grifting element to what I do, and then there is a but I actually mean it element to it. I'm kind of a multifaceted individual, like Odysseus. Nobody seems as upset as Musk. Again, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. I'm absolutely more upset than Musk. Am I right? Am I right, guys? Come on. Give me that. I'm 10 times more upset than Musk. I don't even see it. Who seems to have added Nolan's alleged offense against Western civilization to the list of topics about which he posts compulsively. You've seen nothing. I must have posted 50 times by now? 50 times? And here's the thing. How about the entirety of the country of Greece, though? Because I've seen a lot of Greeks and their voices matter. I've seen a lot of Greeks complain about that. Is the entirety, from the point of view of these people, is the entirety of Hellas MAGA? How do you even do it? Because you can't do make Greece great again, because MAGA doesn't sound right. We could do make Hellas great again, but if you do it with the H, it's make it, plus they don't pronounce it. I don't know. It doesn't work. It doesn't work really well, so we'll have to see. You love Greeks. Me too. You know who doesn't? The devil himself. That's who doesn't. Sorry, I digress. What are they gonna go on about now? Western civilization. Yes, his commentary on Sunday night and Monday morning is in, or not Monday mornings. Come on, people are going back to work, and Musk is here complaining about no. In between replying to penis joke. I'm sorry, what? With a fire emoji and calling for the death penalty for parents and doctors who treat trans children. Oh, you mean the ones who mutilate the kids? Yeah. Musk continued to post about Nyongos and broadened his attack on diversity in Hollywood. Okay, so now they're gonna go on all the other reasons. Palestine. How do you care about while there is a genocide going on, and you care about Hollywood? I understand. I don't need to keep reading this nonsense, but I do want to mention. I want you to notice this. Please focus on this, particularly if you're a liberal fan of mine. You gotta focus on this. People like this, which are not only my enemy and the enemy of people on the right, people on the center, but they're also your enemy. They're also your enemy because this is the cult. This is the cult. So, laughing at the penis joke. What are you, a Puritan? I thought that the left was supposed to be the one about open-mindedness when it comes to sex and stuff. And yet, on Reddit, the radical leftists that make fun of me, you know what one of the most common insults that they use against me is on Reddit? Can you guess it? Come on, guys, guess it. I don't think you can guess it. I'll give you 15 seconds. Let's go, so I can have a drink. 15 seconds. Guess the radical left-wingers that hate my guts, and I'm proud of it, by the way. They hate my guts. The ones that say, oh, I used to be subscribed to Metatron until he became a far-right grifter because he complained about that bigot of Charlie Kirk who deserved it. That kind of people that I'm so glad I'm subscribed. Tiny Eggplant, no. Incel, but no. Also because, I mean, how am I involuntary celibate? I married a gorgeous woman with a child. So no, they don't use incel on me. Not it, no. Yeah, you got it. RG Nerdcraft, you're right. Yes, gay. They say I'm gay. They use being homosexual, the liberal open progressives. They say I'm gay, and that's why I got so upset about the death of Charlie Kirk, because in reality, I'm a closeted homosexual. How do you like that? So that's why I'm saying, if you're a liberal fan of mine, don't worry, brother. Don't worry, brother, okay? We may have different views. I mean, I'm still a decent person. I'm not like an extremist or anything. I'm just the most far-right grifter on the planet, but I'm not an extremist. And, but trust me, these people, they are your enemies too. Trust me, brother. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Being gay is used as an insult against me. Which at this point, don't call me gay, call me trans. I mean, I've got the long hair of the transition in long hair. You know what I mean? If you're going to go down that route, why not? Anyways, what is my final take on Elon Musk's opinions on Nolan? Based. Absolutely based. And that concludes this first thing that we decided to talk about because, I mean, that's what it is. You love the hypocrisy. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, but let me check, because I don't want to disrespect people in chat. Because let me see if I skipped any. Yes, I did. So, Captain, thank you for the support. You say buonasera to you. Excellent. Some random says for a bigger drinking mug. Appreciate that. We got some downstairs. This is the Italian one, but we got the American version downstairs. Orc, thank you for the support. There is some good news that Michael Jackson's biopic beat out Star Wars, so I still have hope for humanity. Man, I was a huge fan of Michael Jackson when he was alive. And as a child, I freaking loved it. I still remember playing the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive game about Michael Jackson, and I loved it. I loved the music. I loved the songs. I thought Michael Jackson was great. I loved the music. The other day I saw a post and it made me laugh. They showed the picture because, come on, you know, I'm a Christian and I believe and all of that, but when something is funny, even if you make a joke and it's about Christianity, if it's funny, I love it, okay? I'm not one of those that's like, no, you have to be always serious. Jesus said there is a time for everything. There is a time for funny jokes, and this is about the Bible, but it was hilarious. So I loved it. And they showed a picture of the book of Genesis. And they said, look, this is the book of Genesis. That's how we call it here in America. In Europe, is the book of Mega Drive. I mean, I know you gotta be my age to understand the joke or slightly younger. I don't know if you can get the joke if you are too young, but bro, that killed me. The book of Mega Drive in Europe? The book of Mega Drive? Ooh, at the beginning, yeah. I do think Genesis sounds better, but I would have read the Book of Mega Drive in Europe. Oh, the Book of Mega Drive. So yeah, that was. Anyways, let me keep reading. Fan funding, fan. Let me see. So yeah, no, I'm up to date with the super chat. Thank you very much for the support, guys. You help me maintain my mental sanity. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Annie Bot. Metatron, Metator Christi Raffaello Noster. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the Latin. It's lovely to read. Lovely to read. And that's lovely. This is the way, says Viking Gremlin. I agree on Twitch. Salve Metatron. Thank you, Annie. Appreciate that. Good evening. Good evening. Tesla cars spy on their owners. I mean, that's every piece of technology in 2026. Make no mistake, there is no privacy anymore. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. All right, so let's move on to the next before we jump into more. Because I'm going to do this today. I'm going to read chat, do a little bit, read the chat, do a little bit. That's what we're going to do, and it's going to be glorious. All right, so I want to watch this very, very quickly, guys. It's a small one. So allow me, as a lady of the library says, allow me, because this is... Can you hold on a minute? This is only a 2 minutes video, so let's have a look. So no, it's from the channel called Angelina's Stories, and it says Nolan's Odyssey recast with Greek actors. I gotta watch it. Let's see who we get. Who do we get? Who do we get? Let's see, with Greek actors. Let's see what we think, guys. Let's put it to a vote. Let's be democratic for once in your life. Wait, I need to turn off and turn on the headphones. All right. Hit me. All right, so what do we think of... I think this Tassos, he looks good. He looks good. Definitely an improvement over Matt Damon. Guy looks legit, like the beard. Lived. That's good. Yeah, I like him. Next. What does chat thinks? Yep, we agree. We got women agreeing as well. This guy rocks. We got women, men, gay men probably. Everybody agrees, so we like it. Okay, we approve. Next. Man. Yeah. Looks the part. I don't know if the music is gonna get me copy claimed, so I'm gonna mute it. But anyways, Penelope. Okay, Maria Naf. I don't know how to read Greek surnames. I apologize. Yes, I mean, come on. It's not like it's a slight difference, but it is an improvement. Look how white she is. Lady of the Library. No disrespect to you for the video. If you guys don't know, go watch it. But come on. She's as white as it gets, and she's Greek. She probably spent her life in the Mediterranean. Come on. Anyways, now she's a little more tanned on this one because, as you say, you know, Mediterranean people, you put us under the sun, we tan. It's not like I'm pretending that we are Nordics and whatnot. But then when you put us outside the sun, the tan goes away. It's something that has to do with it's you know, it is a subject called biology. A lot of the people that, you know, support Nolan are not aware of it. They've never studied in their life. They think it's all a social construct. But yeah, it's a thing. What do you guys think? Is that a good Penelope? I think it's an improvement. It's an improvement, definitely. Congrats on being a father. Welcome to the club. Thank you so much, Higashi. I really appreciate that. Now is the perfect time to get into shape and stay in shape. Give him every extra year you can. You know, I agree, and I need to start going to the gym again. Totally. You say works, you say yes. Chat approves next. All right, so Telemachus, let's go. I love it how they find the same freaking haircut. How do you find the same freaking haircut? So they, you know, these Greek actors exist. This is insane. This is miles better, totally, yeah. Totally. Because, okay, so compared to, the reason why it works is that if you compare it to Odysseus, like, this is a man. This is a manly man. This is the kind of masculinity they're trying to tell you it's toxic, but it's not. It's not. This is the protective masculinity. So compared to this, then you see Telemachus as you should. Where is he? Hold on a minute. You see Telemachus as you should, and you're like, okay, not as much, because younger and whatnot, but definitely an improvement over, yeah. I agree. I approve. You guys agree? You guys agree? Better? Yeah, definitely better. What's his name again? Better than Tom, yeah. What's his name again? Anastasios. Approved. So far, we're doing really well. Cool, cool. I love how Greeks and Southern Italians will look a lot alike. Like a lot. If you told me this guy's Italian, I would believe it. All right, guys. Here it comes. Here's the bigotry, guys. You ready? Ready for the bigotry? Ready for the bigotry? Come on. Let's see. So, instead of Lupita Japanese, instead of Lupita Nyong'o, what do we get? What do we get? Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. Come on. Hit me. Oh, Afrocentrists. Oh, Afrocentrists. Afrocentrists are gonna clip this so much, and I want them to clip it. This is a million times more congruent to the text than the come on. And she's Greek. And she's Greek. Come on, chat. Who would marry her in chat? I'm already married, but who would marry her in chat? Come on, tell me. 1,000 boats? What do you guys think? 1,000 boats? It's like 10,000 boats. It's 10,000, bro. This is 10,000. Best selling ever. Come on. What, Nolan, what the heck are you doing? Yes, I would say, I'm going to say this is Metatron approved. Totally Ellen of Troy. All right, we're going to go to Athena now. Man, I'm having a good time. So I would say that this is definitely Ellen of Troy. Yeah, this is Ellen of Troy, all right? She's Greek. Why not have her play the part? You know, Carmela, my dear friend, let me tell you this. You might want to sit down for this, but there is one thing called DI, which means, I'm going to tell you what it means. So the D, the E, and the I, they stand for anti-white. That's what it stands for. The D stands for the A in anti-white, and that's how it works. So what they do is that when Hollywood looks at this, they go, oh, oppressor. And then they look at, where is it? Where is she? They look at Lupita, and they say, oppressed. Okay? And so they do that. And they say, yeah, this is Ellen of Troy, but me, you, and the entirety of the country of Greece, we know the truth. This should have been Ellen of Troy. I don't even care. All right, guys. So now we need to see Athena, the goddess herself. Let's do it. Show me Athena. Come on. Show me Athena now. Let's go. So we're going from Zendaya, inappropriate casting choice, to what? All right, so Athena, her name is Athena. Her name is, okay. I'm going to say, I'm not vibing with this one, okay? I'm not vibing with this one as much. Also because Athena, we need like blue/gray eyes. So Athena, we need to work on it a little bit. Beautiful woman, absolutely. I'm not saying anything, but we might. Actually, I might. You know what? I'm gonna provide. I'll tell you who Athena is. So I don't know what you guys think. Maybe you agree. But I'm gonna give you another option. Okay? Let's see if you prefer, and then you tell me in chat if you prefer their option or my option. All right, you can vote for me or you can vote for the channel, Angelina, whatever the heck. And of course, you're free to vote for whatever you want. If you vote for Angelina, I'll block you, but you're free. You know, it's just like freedom of speech, but careful what you say. So a bit like England, if you will. So let me see if I need to scroll down. So you have to wait a second because I shared this. I did share it, you muppets. I shared it on X. But because I post like a maniac, it's not the. There we go. I found it. All right. So that's what Angelina thinks. Are you ready for Metatron's casting choice? And then you choose in chat. All right? Power to the people. In 3, 2, 1, Metatron casting choice for Athena. Let's go. The floor is yours, chat. Floor is yours. What do we think? Guys? Can you see her? Is that Athena? Yeah? Come on, guys. That's Athena. Right there. That's Athena. Yeah, I win, right? I win. Come on. Based, yes. 1,000 times, yes. That's it. That's Athena, guys. This is Athena. Exactly. Not only how I imagine it, but how, you know what, the ancient Greeks imagined it. Let's be real. Metatron's choice. I know I'm based. I know I'm based. I know I'm based. Like it's so here she is. That's Athena, guys. In fact, I said based. This is Athena. This is Metatron's choice, and that's it. Fantastic Athena. I think she is of Greek descent, but even if she wasn't, she looks the part. She looks the part. Okay, so that's my casting choice. I will not apologize for it. I will not apologize for it. Let's continue the video though, because I'm having a good time with this video. Actually, more than I thought. A lot more than I thought. Let's go. So what's next? What are we looking at? Okay, John Berthel. So, oh, I didn't even recognize. That's the Punisher, right? Gosh, I didn't even recognize him with a shaved head and the beard. So I wasn't a huge fan. Contrary to what the clowns that they hate me say, I actually complained about this casting too, because I wanted Menelaos to be a ginger hair guy, and I didn't think the Punisher really fit. Okay, but let's see. All right, so still we're not going with the redhead. I would say similar, but I would say yes to this simply because the guy's Greek at this point. He kind of, yeah, maybe, but I would change the hair. I would change the hair. Next, what do you guys think? Greeks are awesome, by the way. So then they want to cast Lazarus as Prophet Kalchas. Well, yeah, of course. Man, can you imagine a cast of full Greeks? It would be so Calypso. Man, that's Calypso, right? See, Greek has talent. Greece, I mean, she could have been an Athena too. I want to be honest with you. At this point, she could have also been an Athena. Yeah, this could be a good alternative Athena as well, rather than Calypso, actually. So what do we have? Robert Pattinson. I've never been a huge, I don't know why, it's just me. I've never been a huge fan of Robert Pattinson. I'm going to be real. I think the only role that I like, isn't he the guy from like the vampires, the shimmer and the glitter for teenage girls? Is that it? Is that it? That's the guy, right? Or am I getting confused? Am I right or am I wrong? You love dark hair and blue eyes. Yeah, I think it's a yeah, that's him exactly. So Twilight, yeah, exactly. So I don't know what it is. I'm not a huge fan. I think the only role, even when he played Batman, I wasn't a huge fan of that. The only role that I liked is when he played the French prince in what was it, The King. I thought that was pretty good, also because he does a fantastic job at putting up a French accent when he speaks English. So I thought that was probably the only casting I liked. So I'm not a massive fan anyways. But let's see. So they say instead, how do you guys pronounce it in Greece? I don't know, this guy. I mean, maybe, yeah. Maybe ditch the mustache, though. Maybe ditch the mustache. But apart from that. All right, guys. Achilles. Is the Greek? Let's see. So we again, we don't know. It's not been confirmed. It's probably not true that Elliot Page is Achilles, because it would be the stupidest thing on planet Earth, including Mars. In fact, the entire alien federation that we don't know we are part of, but they still control us. Every other thing we do. Anyways, let's see. Oh, the guy is from Crete. That's cool. Who do we got? What's Achilles? All right. So Apostilis or Apostilis, I don't know how you guys pronounce it. As Achilles, you know. So the guy looks awesome, but I think Achilles' hair was described as being golden. So maybe if you change his hairstyle and make him blonde, he already has the light eyes. You're gonna have to do something with the beard as well. But then I think the facial features are there. It looks like a warrior. I can appreciate that. Let's see. How's his muscularity though? All right, so yeah, no, I can see it. I mean, we need more beard, otherwise he looks too young. We need a stronger masculine form. Yeah, you see, when you remove completely, then I don't see a warrior. That's how much a beard does, guys. Man, a beard does. I can see why my wife doesn't want me to shave. You know, it's one of those things. A beard really makes a difference in a man. It really does. You think the chin is weak? The chin is weak. I don't know. We'll see. Agamemnon. We'll pencil it in. For Agamemnon, they say this guy. I'm not seeing it. Oh, no, it's this guy that they want as Agamemnon. Sorry, I got confused with the one. All right. No, still not seeing it. We need a better Agamemnon. For Cersei, maybe? Oh, okay. I'll remove the maybe. Yes, then. Man. Yeah, because I always get confused with they showed the original. That was, this I'm okay with. Also because Cersei has a whole situation about sexual encounter with Odysseus, so I guess you gotta make it hot. Like you have to, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. I agree. Yeah, that's this casting is amazing. Yeah, no, totally approved. Metatron approved. The only one I'm saying, Athena, I gotta work on that. But apart from it, this was great. So those eyes, wow, I agree. This is it. There is a lot of natural Mediterranean beauty, and I think it should be used to express the Mediterranean beauty that is represented and representative of Greece, right? Why not? Why do you have to swap stuff? Why you have to swap stuff is my question. So this is it. I actually enjoyed this video very much. It was great. Thank you for making it, Angelina, whoever you are. That was phenomenal. I loved it. That was fun, guys. I want to say it. That was fun. All right, let's move to the next one. By the way, what you don't know is that I have so many things to do that I'm marking them with a marker, yellow marker, to make sure I don't re-click the same things twice. How long is this one? Is it a little long? Oh, yeah, it's that one. Okay, so we're not going to watch the whole thing, but some of you have been telling me that the Odyssey has been, or there is a part 2, we'll check it out. So some of you have been telling me that the Odyssey has been cancelled, and I don't think I'm that lucky. I honestly don't. Like, I know I've been asking Zeus, I've been asking Athena, I've been asking, like, Apollon, I've been asking all of them. Dionysios, all of them. And so far, I haven't had it. I would love to see the Odyssey cancel, tank, lose their shirts, everyone unemployed. Not the cast. I'm talking about the actors and the big guy, not the people that have regular jobs. I don't want those to lose their jobs because they've done nothing wrong. It's Nolan that needs to pay for his treason. But there is this video. So some of you have been telling me, did you hear it? The Odyssey has been cancelled. I think it's fake news, guys. And now that I use the term fake news, I need to say thank you for your attention to this matter. And then I'll put an orange filter when I say it. But there is this video. I want to watch a little bit. And even if I know it's most likely not true, and this is probably AI slop, but let me have fun, though. So without further ado.
Nolan, it would seem like his next film, The Odyssey, would be a big slam dunk, but it has become the most controversial movie of the year.
Christopher Nolan, one of cinema's most acclaimed and powerful directors, has reportedly canceled The Odyssey entirely after the relentless backlash from Troy's original cast reached a breaking point that made continuing the production untenable.
Man, I wish. Ooh, let me dream. Okay, so before we continue, I need to see this. Guys. What does the description say? Christopher Nolan cancels The Odyssey after Troy cast backlash. If it's parody, you have to say it. Otherwise, it sounds like you are lying for clicks. So if you don't... Okay, let me see if they say it on the channel, because it's funny. Okay, I enjoy it. What the heck? I enjoy I do. But you gotta tell me, why does it show 3 channels? I can never understand that. Did they collaborated for this? What do you guys know if they say it? AI came to the rescue with hair. You're welcome. Lovely. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but sure. So yeah. Anyways, let's continue. It's parody, but let's continue.
According to multiple sources with knowledge of the situation, Nolan didn't just delay the film or announce recasting. He allegedly told Universal executives and his production team that he's done with the project, that the controversy has become so toxic and divisive, that the film can never succeed commercially or critically, and that he refuses to continue defending casting choices that have generated this level of opposition from respected actors and passionate fans. fans.
This is 100% AI slop, but man, I'm indulging in the dream. It's just that if they don't make it obvious that this is parody, I can't recommend the channel. I just have to say that. You got to do that. You got to do that. Otherwise, you're using fake news, and then the sitting president of the United States need to call you out. Come on.
But the most explosive part of the reported cancellation is Nolan's alleged statement to his inner circle explaining his decision, where he reportedly said something like, "Enough woke shit."
Man, what is it with Skynet and sense of humor? Goodness gracious, good. Look, Skynet, robotic overlords, okay? Remember that I laughed at your jokes when Judgment Day comes. And the Terminators, they start... Remember, oh, he laughed at our jokes. Spare him. Enough woke shit. Oh my gosh.
And expressed frustration that contemporary political pressures to cast diversely had destroyed what should have been his triumphant epic adaptation of Homer's foundational text. This is absolutely catastrophic on every conceivable level. First, The Odyssey was one of the most anticipated films in production, a $250 million Christopher Nolan epic that...
Some of that was stolen from the Greek people, by the way. You heard about my other video, I covered it, how the Greek government actually gave a few millions to Nolan for him to then turn around and butcher everything. Didn't even film most of it in Greece. I think he went to freaking Sicily. Sicily, my island, how dare you? Stay away. Stay away from my island. Next time I'm going to tell my uncle. Next time Nolan is going to go to Sicily, I'll make sure my cousins in Corleone tell my uncle. I'm just going to make sure of that.
Was supposed to be a guaranteed commercial and critical success. Canceling it represents a massive financial loss for Universal, and a shocking admission that even Nolan's reputation and talent can't overcome pre-release controversy. Second, the reported "enough woke shit" quote, if accurate, suggests Nolan himself has turned against the diversity casting decisions.
Oh, enough woke shit, man, that's so... Yeah, of course this is satire. Yeah, I just shouldn't say him though, like you gotta say, whoever did this, you gotta say it. You gotta say it. And then we can all laugh together. But bro, enough woke shit. Nolan saying enough woke shit. I'll watch a little more.
Either because he genuinely regrets them, or because the backlash convinced him they were mistakes. Third, this represents a complete victory for Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, Diane Kruger, Sean Bean, and the Troy cast who campaigned against The Odyssey.
Yeah, this is also not true, of course, but man, that would have been great to see, actually.
Validating their criticism and potentially emboldening actors to oppose casting decisions they disagree with in future projects. Fourth, the cancellation sends a message throughout Hollywood that there are limits to how much source material can be altered for contemporary political purposes before projects become commercially unviable.
Bro, we can still do that, though. I know this is satire, but guys, we can still do this. Like, you can vote with your wallets. You can become non-binary, BUI, and I have to go watch it because I have to tear it apart. Unfortunately, I have to do it. And I'll make sure that I don't know, on that day I'll turn, my mom, being extremely Catholic, she used to spam those red candles. And if you are Catholic or you have ever been around, specifically Italian Catholics, but at this point, Catholics everywhere, I don't know what it is with Catholics and fixation with red candles. But bro, every time like, oh, Mom, I'm going to university, I have an exam today, 15 red candles turned on near the saints. Like, it's how it is. My mom, that's how she was. She loved the Catholic candles, which sometimes I even told them, Mom, what's more powerful in order to get the blessings from God, the tall candles or the number of candles you'll lit? Because I've never really, I wanted to know, because at this point, couldn't we like save some money? Because if it's the tall candles, then get 5 tall candles instead of 25 regular, spam the living room and the kitchen. We could make it a little bit more effective in that kind of situation. So that's that. But anyways, I'm just saying, I will lit a couple of candles in honor of my mom and all of Catholicism, and hopefully that will protect me from what I have to do when I go and watch it. But apart from that, you don't have to, though. You don't have to. You just have to watch my video then, and so we can avoid giving money to these people that don't deserve it and hate everything about us and our history and culture. Thank you, Leo. Donation to Metatron Sun Diaper Fund. Holy moly, that's $50. Brother, you just paid for 500 diapers. 500 to 600 diapers. I've calculated it the other day. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Leo. And also, I use AI to fix the Greek characters. Oh, that's what it was. I see, Romeo. We'll check it out. Appreciate that. What a beautiful island. What, Sicily? Totally. Sicily is gorgeous. I just wish that the Sicilian government and the Italian government in general took better care of it, particularly our historical sites. That's what I'm going to say about Sicily. But it's a gorgeous island with a lot of natural beauty and a lot of sights to see, deep history, incredible food. People are nice, except for the mafia. And so it's like, Sicily is amazing. Sicily is gorgeous. It's just that sometimes the state of abandonment of some areas is it's really a shame. And if the Italian government was as good as the American government, and if you're from America and you disagree, you haven't got a clue. When it comes to take, or even a lot of Nordic countries like Sweden, even Germany, England up to a certain extent, because now that it's a caliphate, I'm not sure if it's degraded. But in general, the England I used to know, the taking, even when I went to lots of different cities here in America, and you see the conditions of the buildings, it's like everything is clean and well organized. And now you're going to tell me we'll go to New York. I get it. I'm saying in general, for crying out loud. I appreciate pedantry, but brother, I'm saying, even when you go to Nordic countries, Switzerland, everything is clean and well maintained. And Sicily, we have spots that the world would be like. We have some of the best preserved temples belonging to ancient Greece and ancient battlements that you can still walk. They've been there for 3,000 years, and yet we don't. Our buildings are a mess. Like, things are dirty. I wish they took better care of that jewel that is my island, and. It's just one of those things, I can speak as a Sicilian about that, and it's really someone who appreciates as well the history, and it's really, really a shame. Thank you, Badombre. 12 years Catholic school, Black Irish, with plenty of Italian friends. Those candles, we had them in front of a bifold pic frame, Kennedy and Jesus. Yes, that sounds okay. Then we are very similar, my friend, because, Italian Catholics and candles. It's just like that, All right, so let me see a little more, because I shouldn't watch it if they don't, but I want to watch it a little more.
The Odyssey was announced as Christopher Nolan's most ambitious project yet, a massive adaptation of Homer's epic poem following Odysseus' journey home after the Trojan War. Shot entirely on IMAX 70mm cameras, with a budget reportedly exceeding $250 million.
I don't know if this was a joke. I wouldn't get it. I mean, it's funny because I get the jokes that are related to ancient culture and history, Latin, Greek, and stuff like that, but I don't know if this was a joke I was supposed to get.
The cast was star-studded, including Matt Damon as Odysseus, Tom Holland as Telemachus, Anne Hathaway as Penelope, alongside Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, Charlize Theron, Lupita Nyong'o, and Elliot Page. The production had already begun filming in various Mediterranean locations, including Sicily, with months of work completed and tens of millions of dollars spent on sets, costumes, effects preparation, and location shooting. Nolan's reputation meant the film had been fast-tracked through development with minimal studio interference, and Universal had positioned The Odyssey as a tentpole release for summer 2026 that would anchor their entire year.
You know what I think? I think his should be called The Odyssey. Like, odd should be capitalized, to be honest. That's what I think. Colonization is bad, says Toon Army, JB, unless it's done to us. Brother, one thing that I often say is kind of unrelated to the topic here, but that's me, all right? I'm always all over the place. It's not like I've ever learned how to do this whole streaming thing. Here's what I want to say. The people that complain about colonization, European colonial powers, awful, what does that imply? It implies that there were European powers that were military advanced, and we economically, with strong economic backbone, that started enlarging and expanding through force and conquered areas, either turning them into protectorate, colonies, whatever you like. Okay? And that's bad. It's a bad thing. Colonization, bad. We need to decolonize the curriculum. Yet not a single one of them ever complains about, for instance, Islamic expansion. I wonder why. Isn't that strange? Because, that was also done by the sword, backed by money and power. In fact, up to a certain extent, I'd rather be under the Roman Empire than under remove up to a certain extent. 100% of the times, I would rather be a subject of the Roman Empire than any Islamic state, whether it be ancient or modern. either as a man, a woman, a gay man, for instance, like totally. But Rome, bro, like it's not even slavery, all that shit that slavery is bad. Okay, why don't they ever? It's always about chattel slavery, which, don't get me wrong, awful. Okay, so slavery, awful, people's freedom and all that. Okay, we agree with that, obviously, but they never talk about that kind of slavery. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Careful now. Bro, you should have told me that 12 years ago. Too late. Greek here, thank you for those videos. Appreciate the Iron Maiden t-shirt too. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you. And I appreciate these. I wish we got like the historically accurate ships as well. Wouldn't that be amazing?
But as casting details emerged and rumors spread about who was playing which characters, the backlash began and intensified rapidly. Yes. The potential casting of Elliot Page as Achilles.
Look at this warrior of ancient Greece. Look at this. Doesn't that make you think of a strong warrior? I'm gonna drop the sarcasm, guys.
Generated immediate controversy about whether a transgender actor could believably portray Greek mythology's greatest warrior.
Yeah, of course, the answer is no.
The casting of Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy sparked even more inflammatory debates about race-swapping characters who've been depicted as white for thousands of years.
Because they were white. And before anyone says, but the Mediterranean steak, I love it when I get people to tell me, oh, Metatron is a white supremacist and he's not even white. Because apparently, if you're Italian or Greek, I guess, you're not white in the mind of some people. Which is, I think it's funny because, look, if from a European perspective, if you're European and you're light-skinned, you're white. Okay, that's how we see it. Southern European, Northern European, Western European, it's all white. But I get it, that there are people that use the more, like, to me, outdated position that would be a bit like, Benjamin Franklin, whereby you have to be West Germanic, like you have to be of Anglo-Saxon descent or in general Germanic to be white, I guess Nordic, which means even Irish people, even though they are like as white as my headphones, that wouldn't count as white, or Southern Europeans, French, Italian, Spanish, they're not white. I get it. That's not how I use it. But even if, to the people that say that, oh, Metatron, the white supremacist, doesn't even count as white. Well, look, if I am not white, then does that mean that I'm a person of color? Because if I am a person of color, shouldn't then you shut up and listen? Because that's what they say, right? That's what they say. They say, oh, you should shut up and listen when a person of color. Okay, then I'm a minority right now. I'm an oppressed. And so shut up and listen when I say, this ain't Helen of Troy. Isn't it funny that, someone like Helen of Troy would have caused so much conflict? Gee, I wondered. I really wasn't expecting Helen of Troy to cause so much conflict. Am I right?
The situation exploded when Troy's original cast, Brad Pitt, Eric Bana, Diane Kruger, and Sean Bean, began publicly opposing the casting choices in coordinated interviews and statements. Their united front turned what might have been dismissible online complaints into a legitimate artistic debate.
Man, this is like living on an alternate reality. Could you imagine an alternate reality where Hollywood wasn't this demonic-driven satanic cult that it is, and instead it was like enough with woke shit? Could you imagine if Hollywood was based? Am I imagining? Is it too much? Too much fantasy? I guess. Oh gosh. No, it's all a joke, Skill. This is not even real. It's just that there is this thing going around now, and I got it a lot in my comments where people are telling me Christopher Nolan cancelled the Odyssey. No, he didn't. It's a parody. It's like it is what it is. But a man can dream. All right, let's do 30 more seconds.
With some of Hollywood's most respected actors arguing that the Odyssey betrayed both Homer's source material and the cinematic legacy Troy had established.
Right.
According to sources close to the production and to Nolan himself, the director initially tried to weather the controversy by refusing to engage publicly, believing that once footage was released and audiences saw the film, the quality would overcome the pre-release backlash.
What quality? Maybe the cinematic, maybe the lighting. One thing I have to say about this, guys, because I have to publicly apologize, because you see, I've been extremely annoying when it comes to pedantry and all that kind of stuff, historical accuracy, for the better part of 12 years. And of course, among the many films and productions that I've complained about over the years for historical inaccuracy and all that kind of stuff, I have complained about this. Okay, I also complained about this. I would like to now publicly apologize to the previous iteration of Troy, because, bro, I had no idea that this would have happened with Nolan. Had I known, I had no idea. I was here complaining. I don't know. I mean, the looks of the constituents of the copper alloy in the rims of the shields used and the rivets, it doesn't look really belonging to. I had no idea, guys. I gotta say sorry. I gotta say sorry to like the films like The Eagle, Centurion. I complained about, but I just don't. I didn't know. I couldn't even possibly foresee. So I would like to. Little did we know. Yeah, I know. Little did we know, indeed. Little did we know. Anyways, this was it was kind of fun to watch, but at the end of the day, I want to see if what do people say in the comments? Would never watch it, even with a free ticket. Appreciate that. I hope this is true, brother. I know. The Greeks deserve better. Based. I'll give him a like. If true, this is the best news I've heard so far in 2026. It's not true, brother. It's not true. I hope this garbage is cancelled. True. This is the best cancelled movie I will ever have the pleasure of not seeing. That is quite complicated. Could have been epic if he respected the original material. You know, isn't it interesting that we now live in a reality where a sentence like this could have been epic if he respected the original material? This will get you called far right. This is a far right statement. You know what I foresee? Here's my prophecy. You know how I always complain on my second channel, Metatron's Academy, about how everybody is a polyglot. I'm a polyglot. I speak 50 languages. I speak 30 languages. Or really, well, then I speak 65. Well, then I speak 78 languages. What about that? I'm better than you. This is basically the entirety of the polyglot community, sort of summarized in 3 seconds. And the funny thing is that they're so competitive to be like, I'm so special, look at me and give me money, because they're disgusting frauds, that they had to come up with a new term, which is hyper polyglot. And I'm gonna prove it to you. Hyper polyglot. You heard it here first, but yes, it's a thing. For instance, Michael, the hyper polyglot, who's a clown. Yeah, I called you a clown. If you have a problem, make a video about it. I'm ready to go to war anytime. So, yeah, that guy, hyper polyglot. How to spot a real hyper polyglot. Yeah, how to spot a real wood elf. Might as well. Language secrets, success stories from hyper polyglot Steve Kaufman. Brother, and I mean, again, Steve Kaufman, I appreciate his passion, but bro, ditch it. Not hyper polyglot. Hyperpolyglots tried to cancel me, this evil dear friend of the channel, Based. So, yeah, now it's a thing. Like, hyperpolyglot is what the polyglot community had to invent, because the word polyglot became so normal that literally everybody's like, oh, yeah, polyglot, of course, yeah. How many languages do you do? What do you mean you don't speak 10 languages? What's wrong with you? Do you need, like, a mental evaluation? Is your prefrontal cortex properly developed? Because why would you not speak 10 languages? I see this happening as well in this, with terms like far right, because it's been spammed so much. How people can call me far right, it's like really. We need something else. How about hyper right? What do you guys think? Ultra. What's ultra hyper? Mega right. Because I mean, far right now. Everybody's far right. There's nothing special about it. You know how much it's important to be special, ladies and gentlemen, to be special. I'm never gonna survive this, am I? I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm never gonna. Giga right, man. Giga right is not bad. I'll think about it. I'm a liberal. Wow. You must be like, whatever, call me whatever you like. Okay, apparently I'm a liberal, guys. Anyways, Helen of Detroit, Helen of Wakanda, I love it. Spam the chat, let's go. Apparently I've offended a few Afrocentric creators because I said Helen of Congo, so make sure to spam the chat with everything. Helen of Congo, Helen of Detroit, Helen of whatever you like. It's, we appreciate that. We appreciate that here. Next. Well, no, wait. Before we go into the next one, let me check super chats and also chat a little bit, and then we move. I used ASL. I read that one. Thank you, Bad Hombre. Man, a lot of super chats from you. 12 years Clark. I read that one, so I'm up to date. Still, thank you with the super chats. Polyglot sounds like a blood jelly dish. Goodness gracious. It kind of does, yes. So what have we got here on Twitch? Mega hyper right wing. That's one way to say it. That could describe me. The lesser of two weevils. Helen of you're spamming it. Helen of KFC. Ooh, that's pretty good. Wasn't the KFC guy? Didn't you use the N word at one point? The KFC guy, or am I misremembering it? Which, by the way, the Afrocentrists are so offended when I said Helen of Congo that they are treating it as if I used the N word, which I never did in my life and never will. I don't use, by the way, any form of racial slur, including the ones against white people, which other people use as if it's like candies. No, at this point, I like being equal for everything. Of course, though, while it is ugly speech, because I think it is ugly speech, I wouldn't want the government intervention on it. It's like, let's not do another UK here. It's ugly, still protected. All right, 19 months. Thank you, Captain. 19 months now. Also, how good is Kinotto? That's a good question. What brand would you suggest? Get San Pellegrino, 100%. And what pizza would be good with it? I like margherita with buffalo mozzarella. Kinotto, for those who don't know, is a drink that is very bitter, but it's like a soft drink in Italy. And I like it, but it's an acquired taste, just so you know. Tapio7764, thank you for the support. I really appreciate that. All right, good stuff. Did I skip a super chat? I'll check it now. No worries. Mason, all right, let's see the super chat from Mason. We want to read that. Let's read the super chat from Mason. And then, thank you so much. There are a few others. I don't know what happened. I haven't seen. Treats113. Thank you for the $20. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. South perspective. The fact that in the 1997 miniseries of the Odyssea looks better than the garbage Nolan is amazing. Almost anyone can make a better choice than him. Brother, there are movies from the 1950s that are better, like the one about Agincourt, which is I think they started filming it after World War II, and it looks amazing, like the representation of the Battle of Agincourt, or Azincourt. It's phenomenal. The King of England, goodness gracious, that armor. Mason, there you go. Have you seen the anime trailer Historia? No, I haven't. Comes out next year, takes place in 343 BC. I appreciate you saying BC, because I will never be found dead saying BCE, CE. Never in a million years. It's going to be BC, AD, forever. In fact, from now on, I'm not even going to say AD. No, I need to step it up, because now all of academia says BCE, because no, we need to be inclusive. And I'm like, bro, it's still the same date. All right? Before Common Era, okay, what is the pivotal event of this Common Era of yours? The birth of our God and Savior Jesus Christ. So you might as well, in fact, when I see BCE, for me, it's before Christian era at this point. Because, I mean, that's what it indicates. So you haven't achieved anything. But anyways, I refuse. And the funny thing is that for now for me, if I have to say it's 20 or AD 20, right? When was it set? In AD 20. No, I will say Anno Domini Nostri Jesu Christi 20 is what I'm going to say from now on every time I say a date, because I've had enough of this nonsense. I've had enough of this. Oh, but it's you shouldn't say BC AD because it could offend non-Christians. Well, I'm a Christian. I'm not offended by Thursday being literally Thor's day in connection to the, pagan gods of the Norse. Same with Wednesday, Wednesday, Woden, Odin. But these people don't even know this. So I'm not offended. Are you offended? Are you offended by Friday? No? Great. Fria's Day? No? You're not offended? Great. Not offended? Then why the heck? Who cares? AD. Congrats on being a father. Welcome to the club. I read that. Thank you. As a teen in Philly, I couldn't escape Springsteen, Disco, or Jackson. Yay. Greek Telemachus was better. Jawline. Agreed. The Greek Helen. Holy wow. I know, my friend. Yeah. Totally. All right. Look up Glacier MP. It's 6 miles away. Visit Sir. I'll look it up. Totally. Thank you for the support, guys. Let me see what you guys think before we continue. What is BCE? It's based... So, okay. BCECE as an alternative way to count dates, to discuss dates. It's not a woke invention, okay? It's something that was created about a few hundred years ago. But it is absolutely true that a certain type of people, which personally I would describe as woke, have adapted it now and kind of pushed it in academia. It's pushed. I don't know if I guess you could still get published if you do BCAD, but academia absolutely pushes for inclusive BCECE because somehow Christianity is offensive. But then calculate, and not that I'm telling them to do it, but then at this point, use a different point of reference because you're just, it's clownish. It's clownish. It's clownish. So that's why I'm always going to do BCAD. Yeah. Amen, you say. Absolutely. Absolutely. Amen, my brothers. Amen. Absolutely. And, that's one of the things that I appreciate from, what's his name? Can't believe I can't remember his name. The scientist. Neil deGrasse Tyson. So, Neil deGrasse Tyson has gone insane with a lot of stuff, and I think he's gone, like, it's one of those cases where I would say stick to astronomy, brother, but whatever. I usually like him. I stopped liking him when he started to get involved into politics. I guess people can say that about me. Fine. Okay, fair. So since I get that, I'm going to say too. Because his political views, whenever he goes outside of astronomy, I'm like, bro, what the heck are you saying? But I will give him that. He defended BCAD. He did. Okay, I shared a clip about it once on X, and I did appreciate that from an atheist man. Agnostic, whatever the heck he considers himself, I don't know. I mean, to me, agnostic is kind of atheist with better PR when it comes to people within this space of, like, people who are famous and that kind of stuff. That's what I think, but whatever. Just wanted to say that. Thank you, Macarev. Thank you for destroying the ideologue librarian. Yeah, her argument, though, because, again, I don't... she looks like a lovely lady. It's just that I think she's been brainwashed by certain anti-man, it's very, very progressive ideas. But I don't dislike it. I don't have anything against it. I do want to underline that. It's just that this whole thing about we need to complain about white skin, but then the moment it's like a black casting actor race swapping, I can't do it. That pisses me off. But she seems like a nice lady. I don't have anything. She's not like a Sam Piger. She's not like Destiny. Those, I will never be nice to those people. Never, motherfuckers. I'll never be nice to those people. Because they don't deserve it. They deserve the worst possible. But someone like her, it's like, it's fine. I mean, whatever. Yeah. How is it in Italian? In Italian we say, it's been a while. Avanti Cristo dopo Cristo. Yeah, it's probably the same. So avanti Cristo meaning before Christ and dopo Cristo meaning after Christ. So we don't really use the Latin, and I think we should. I love the fact that in English AD is in Latin. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, cool. We got another article, guys. Today is full on Odyssey. Today is Nolan. Epic viral musical retelling of the Odyssey to become animated movie thanks to Jerry Bruckheimer, Atlantic's Kevin Weaver exclusive. Oh, please don't. They really have it with the Odyssey, don't they? Can't they leave it alone? From the Hollywood Reporter, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we have to deal with. It began life in college dorm room. Well, technically it was 2,700 years ago, but we'll get to that later. Gained a multi-million army on TikTok. What? And earned a real-world record deal. Now, Hollywood is calling. Oh, no. Hollywood is calling. Sounds like the call of Cthulhu these days, literally. In fact, I think the sort of monsters that Lovecraft, Howard Philip Lovecraft created, nothing in comparison to what Hollywood has created. Epic. The musical telling of Homer's The Odyssey is getting the movie treatment thanks to Jerry Bruckheimer. Bruckheimer, the mega producer behind the Top Gun and the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, which means nothing. I mean, if there is one thing we have learned with the likes of Nolan, who had made, the Dark Knight trilogy, whatever, is it a trilogy? I don't even know. The Dark Knight thing with Batman, and then he made the movie, look, let's go to these other planets, beautiful, wow. He did that. Did that mean anything? No. So, what does this mean? Nothing. It means nothing. Portfolio means nothing these days. Has partnered with Jorge Rivera Errands, the creator, composer, songwriter, producer, and performer behind the viral sensation Atlantic Music Group, President Kevin Weaver, to produce an animated musical adaptation of the epic, no pun intended, I don't even see the pun, saga. Right. Chad Oman, maybe if it was Chad with a U, I would have been like, maybe it's fine, but in this case, I don't know. Okay, the project is in the nascent stages and is to be taken out to studios and streamers for presentation by CAA, who represents, this is why Nolan's Odyssey needs to fail. Because if Nolan's Odyssey needs to fail, people have to be a bit careful. But Nolan is mentioned, so let's have a look. The project, blah, 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 first foray into animation, but not into the world of music. Many of his films have been musically inclined and part of pop culture's soundtrack, or pop cultures like rap in ancient Greece, right? Am I right, Nolan? Going back to 1980s classic Flashdance. Now, don't desecrate the 1980s because it's peak. 1980s and 1990s is peak, guys. Peak for music. The timing couldn't be better, as Homer has suddenly become a hot in Hollywood. What does it mean? Well, how do they even write these articles? A hot what? Hot is the adjective. A hot... Christopher Nolan is prepping for the retelling of the Odyssey. Yeah, he's prepping, all right. With his all-star live-action feature that will open July 17th and is already generating buzz. Ooh, buzz, understatement of the millennia, that it could be one of the biggest movies of the year. So, okay, so they just live on a separate reality than ours. Like, this is, Hollywood is trash, another understatement. It's like they lived, what are you on about? It's a failure. It's a debauchery. It's a disgusting, it's a treason to the West. Combined with the feverish following epic has generated, this tale is probably at the zenith of recognition, not seen since the ancient Greek poet first began, don't you even dare, narrating it in his toga in the 8th century BC. Toga is Roman, by the way. Rivera Errands began epic as his ambitious senior thesis at University at Notre-Dame de Paris. C'est bon ça? Ah bon, on peut faire comme ça alors. On peut parler français aujourd'hui parce que, bon, j'aime bien la France. Things took off when, I'm even speaking in tongues now. させファリストポリ。日本語できますか？我会讲普通話。Things took off when, during the pandemic, he began posting his creative process on TikTok in 2021. Bro, come on. Creation. And TikTok. TikTok is brain rot. It's not creation. Creation. Like, are we using the word in the word creation is bara in the Bible. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'etz haaretz. That's the first Genesis 1:1 in the original language. Bara meaning it's what's usually translated as created. That does not belong in the same sentence as TikTok. Okay, let's continue. Then began releasing the sagas as musical starting in 2022. They're going to use the fact that it's a musical to be like, so it doesn't matter if we race swap, it doesn't matter because it's a musical. The self-released EPs began hitting the number one spot on iTunes and the number one on the soundtrack. I don't even care. The serialized music format, re-envisioning the classic tale they never learn of the war heroes, gods, and monsters filled the... I need a volume. I need ibuprofen right here. Double ibuprofen, you know. The ibuprofen pills, by the way, that you guys use here in America, they're a little light. In Italy, we go nuts with the ibuprofen and the milligram dosage. We go nuts in Italy in comparison. I have to take like multiple here when I get a Nolan-induced headache. Long journey home to his wife and son. Okay, look. Is it going to be to his wife and son, or is it going to be to, I'm going to be a dad type of situation that we had with The Last of Us? I'm going to be a dad. They should cast her as him, like, one of those situations. That's what we need. I'm going to be a dad. Chuckles. Let me read some super chats. So that I feel better about myself. Let's see. Nolan, what have you done for me lately? Eddie Murphy, a classic piece involving an African woman. Your past doesn't define your present failure. I don't know what that means, but thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Next. Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, you did all the days of the week. I really appreciate the Saturn's day would be, yeah, Saturnis dies in Latin, and Sunday. Sunday is probably like Solis dies in Latin, and then moon is money. I think Mani was the Germanic god that was riding a chariot with the wolves going to the moon. If I remember right, it's been a while, but thank you for sharing that. What is the common reference point for East Asians as far as dating history, ancient or otherwise? Jesus isn't part of their culture, so what is it? Oh, I see what you mean. But now they are adapted to us. Otherwise, like for instance in Japan, they use their own dating system, which is usually calculated in the way their emperors, with their emperors and how their dynasties begin. And of course, China's got their own. So yeah, they have their own, but they also adapted the Western one due to the strong influence and the cultural importance and relevance of the West globally. So yeah. Thank you for so I think I read everything here. How are things on Twitch, guys? Very well, in fact. Jasoon74 subscribed with Prime. Thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate the subscription. Let me see if there is any other subscription that I didn't cover before we go back to I'm gonna be a dad here. Yeah. What can you see? No mercy. You there? Take him to California. All right, so. Let's continue, guys. Let's continue, because this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. Where was I? I have too many tabs already. 1 second. Which one is it? This one? This one? It's this one. Okay, let's continue. So did they say anything when it comes to the retelling, guys? It's a retelling. Let's see. Sun through a... Oh my God, I can't believe it. Okay, this gotta be a joke. They wrote this article to give me a heart attack. So, the serialized music format, re-envisioning the classic tale of the war heroes, gods and monsters filled decades-long journey home to his wife and son through a modern immersive lens, struck a chord with millennials and Gen Zers who fell for the influences of musical anime and video games. This is freaking cinema. This is cinema. Protein bars, not sponsored. I need protein. I need protein, because otherwise my system is going to shut down. They have learned nothing, have they? To you, Nolan, may you not have health. Unbelievable. Gen Zers. Millennials, I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm a millennial, and I want to flip by that table. They even got to I'm screaming. They even got to participate in the worldwide casting process. Oh, this is we live in a simulation, guys. This is a simulation. This is not possible. I don't believe it. I don't believe that we got to this level. What? Worldwide casting. You know what's interesting? Isn't it fascinating that these days, when it comes to these ancient Greek epics, the worldwide / diverse in relation to cast means anyone but Greeks. Where are Greeks from? Mars? Are they from Pluto? Jupiter? Saturn? Anyone but the Greeks. Anyone. I'm borderline Gen X. You're correct with that. You're absolutely right. Fans also created anime. I don't even want to know. More than 4 billion global streams and over 7 billion short-form views later, what began as a viral social content evolved into a global phenomenon, redefining how music storytelling and audience engagement can... Yeah. I swear, like, you know what I need in these cases? I need to go touch grass and stop with the internet. I need a break. I need it for my mental sanity. Barkenheimer's boarding was eased. I can't even read. Eased by the fact that Weaver worked with the producer of last year's Formula One, the F1, the album. I don't even know. And then a bunch. Okay, that's it. That's the article. That's another clown. That's another traitor right here. I know. I can feel it. And I'll call him out. I'm going to call all of them out. I'm not going to leave a single one. You know, these producers, Hollywood, circles, you know what I want them to do? I want them to be in a situation that, you know, when you have like garlic and then vampires go... when they see the garlic or the crucifix, it's going to be like that, but with the name Metatron. Like, they need to be in a position when they're having a lovely day, spending all of that money they didn't earn, and then do all blood money, and then they hear the word Metatron, and they go, oh, no, like, they need to have nightmares about me. They need to have nightmares about me screaming like a maniac. That's what needs to happen. This is what needs to happen, guys, because let's change a little bit. Let's change the topic for a second. And, well, actually, you know what? I need to react to this very quickly. It's just a little bit. Not that it's going to help with my mental sanity, but I like her voice.
I'm seeing this weird trend online.
I like her voice. I think she's funny. And so I wanted to react to her a little bit before we go into because I have another 17 articles like this. You think I'm done? Absolutely not. I'm in the process of moving into my new home as I participate. Thanks for the answer. Sorry for being obscure. Murphy piece ripping. Oh, not a problem. Oh, I see. It was about Janet Jackson. I didn't know that. No problem. I hope you love your new house, my friend. Wing0123. I'm a moderate left wing. I love your history videos and I don't like Hassan either. I love that. Great. You're welcome here. That being said, Asmongold has said insane things too, but not as many times as Hassan has. You know, Asmongold has said some stuff, but he apologized after it. After, like, the crazy stuff, he apologized. Have you ever heard an apology from the likes of Hassan or Destiny? You know, that makes a massive difference in my eyes. Also, the reality is, a lot of the stuff that Asmongold says represents the views of the average person. This is what's scary about. This is what makes Asmongold scary. For some people, that they wish they could have him banned, but they can't. It's because he just represents the average person a lot of the time. And he's also entertaining, so it's funny. That's another thing about Asmongold. And so that's why I'm very supportive of Asmongold. And the other thing is that we share common enemies, okay? So a lot of the people that go after him, they go after me, which automatically puts me in a situation whereby you've got, like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing. And yeah, so that's the thing. I think that's why Asmongold has such a strong impact on these situations. And you don't have to agree with everything he says, but the one thing that Asmongold has never done, to my understanding, is to specifically push for direct threats of violence the same way that Hassan Piker has, or Destiny. Has he said stuff that was a little leaning on the authoritarian? Yeah. But a lot of the time was towards people that were breaking the law. And at the end of the day, we live under the rule of law. So that's how it is, okay? And personally, I really like Asmongold. I really do. And he made a video about me. And you know what was different between the video that Asmongold made about me and the video that usually my critics make? Is that his video was nice. It was lovely. And he even put a link. He said, guys, go subscribe. And I got like 7,000 or 8,000 people out of it. It was lovely. It was great. It was refreshing for once. Whereas usually when people make videos about me, it's all about lying, calling me whatever the heck I'm not. So Asmongold is great. This is how it's going to be. He cooks and I watch. And that's how it is. All right, guys. You know, the difference it makes a K in your name. Am I right? The difference that a K makes. Yeah, I'll watch the one without the K at the beginning. Let's go.
I'm seeing this weird trend online recently.
I'm not hearing anything. I think it's my headphones. Oh, come on, don't lie. Okay. Oh, they're back up. They're back up. We're still cooking. Let's go.
Where black people are... I'm seeing this weird trend online recently where black people are telling white people what they can and cannot do based off of things that black culture apparently owns. And I'm here to tell you, black people don't own these things. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're talking about the
Already subscribed.
ownership of certain things by certain people because of their skin color. I don't know. I keep getting TikToks about stuff like this, and we've all...
Okay, I keep hearing TikToks is detrimental to your mental sanity and psychological health. So please do with moderation, Amala.
done the sort of song and dance thing on cultural appropriation. You've seen videos like this one.
That shit is ugly as We wear that shit.
It's great.
Okay, that was from Radio Genoa. It's a very, very... sometimes I see their posts. I'll leave it at that.
Take that out now.
Are you being for real?
Take that out now.
Okay, what's your problem?
Take that shit out now.
Look at the violence. Look at the violence. I hate people like this. You know what's funny? Is that... So, person on the left, I loathe her with every fiber of my being. I think she's disgusting. Person on the right, I think she's adorable. Yet, Afrocentrists, and in general, my critics, will still use this to say, somehow, I'm racist. How does that work? How does it work? Help me, I don't know what's going on. All right, guys. Let's go.
We're just in the store.
But take that shit out now. Take that shit out. That shit ugly as fuck. That shit is ugly though. Like,
Man, is someone like that scream to my wife this way? Bro.
look at your fucking hair.
It doesn't look bad.
That's ugly.
Please stop following us.
Now that is obviously deranged, and it's
Thank
insane
you.
the amount of videos you see on the internet of people getting terrorized over their hairstyles, but I've debated that. I've done the whole cultural appropriation thing. I even went on Dr. Phil to talk about that exact issue, but it's getting even worse, and it's going further and getting more granular at this point. Here's the
I wonder if no one has ever terrorized me about my hairstyle, but I would wonder what kind of cultural appropriation would mine be? Neanderthal? That's one thing they call me, by the way, which I think is phenomenal. One thing that some of my critics call me is apparently I'm a Neanderthal hybrid. And they do that because, white people, Neanderthal, okay. And I'll take it. I actually like it. You got like you got the smarts of the Homo sapiens, together with the strength and the hair of the Neanderthal. Sounds like I'll take it. I love it. So I'm culturally appropriating the Neanderthal. Let's go.
TikTok I just came across of a woman saying that white girls can't wear bonnets anymore.
What's a bonnet?
Because
Hold on a minute. What's a bonnet, guys? I need chat here. What the heck is a bonnet? Because in my version of English, a bonnet is what you got in the front of your car to kind of shield the engine, which Americans call a hood. It's actually funny because my father-in-law still makes fun of me when I say bonnet and the boot. Like the other day, my father-in-law is very country. Oh gosh, that in a good way, it's very country. So the other day I said, I think it's in the boot, and he goes, the boot, the boot, which will be the trunk. Okay, got it. A hat. I'm told it's a hat, guys. Well, technically, the bonnet in front of a car is the hat. The hat of an engine. So yeah, I can vibe with it.
those are for black people.
Hi team, it's Captain Gatekeep. In 2026, I don't want to see any more white girls in bonnets. The Latinas, the Pakistanis, you guys can keep them. But the rest of you guys...
How do they not understand how condescending they sound with that? So when she's editing this, I need to see I need to say this as a content creator because she's rewatching it while she edits it, and she thinks that sounds good. How? Also, how does she not look at her own septum ring and think that that looks ridiculous? I don't know. But then again, freedom. Same freedom, though. Because, you know, these people live in the United States of freedom. And here's the problem. There's nothing you can do about it. Bonnets all day. Whatever type of hat they are, I don't got a clue. But bonnets all day at this point. Do we have a bonnet? I'm going to ask my wife. If not, we need to get a bonnet. Get a bonnet for my baby.
Y'all are the reason that Trump invaded Venezuela. So let's put an end to global crisis.
Hold on a minute. Bonnets are the reason Trump invaded Venezuela? Did I misunderstand that? I'm trying to follow the logics. Or like the
Pakistanis, you guys can keep them. But the rest of you guys, y'all are the reason that Trump invaded Venezuela. So let's put an end to global crisis. Let's stop the war. You can do it.
So you have a black woman now telling white women what they can wear on their hair. And she's even going and segregating other races on the basis of this rule that she's made up and saying,
gee, that sounds like a, you know, racist to me. But then again, what do I know? Am I right? What do I know? Let me read. We got some. Look, I'm going to put the chat from Rumble, a platform I imagine this individual doesn't like. So I'm just going to put it here. Rumble. Well, Metatron is an angel, so I would imagine the demons that inhabit Hollywood would recoil in fear and disgust 100%, bro. 100%. I've been around for a while. Ray says, that reminds me of your good friend Flint, who, Dibble, has been attacking Asmongold and Roachkin made a video about. Ooh, we gotta react to that. Oh, we are so gonna react to that. Asmongold versus Dibble? Even saying that. Oh gosh, that sounds so idiotic. Asmongold versus Flint Dibble. Asmongold versus Dibble. Asmongold versus Dibble. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll have a look. Let's finish.
The Pakistanis and the Latinas can also have hair bonnets, which if you don't know what a bonnet is, let me pop up a picture here for you. I use them. White people use them. People of all colors use them. But
I've never seen one in my life unless you're like coming out the shower, but maybe that's because I'm European. I don't know, guys. Have you ever worn a bonnet? Because if you had, your culture vulture, say the culture vultures.
But apparently that's not allowed. And she calls herself a gatekeeper, which is exactly what this is. It's certain people who feel like they can be at the gates of certain aspects of their culture and dictate who comes in and who comes out. And I'm here to tell you, you don't get to do that. Okay, if you're a white girl who wants to protect your hair with a bonnet, go to Target, buy one for $4.99, put it on your head and see what happens. Nothing.
She's great. I love Amala. She's so good. Here's the thing though. And by the way, before someone tells me, oh, the only reason you like Amala is because she's conservative, I like shoe on head. She's just socialist. I look at the person. I look at the heart. She's a genuine, lovely lady. And I love the fact that she's also based, sure. But I'm just saying, I do look at the person and the words that they say. And she sounds great. She sounds great. I don't think there is a atom in this individual's genetic makeup that is racist towards anyone. Obviously towards black people, but also towards white people, because before anyone tells me that black people can't be racist to white people, yeah, get lost. That's not true. Anyone can be racist towards anyone. In fact, I'm going to say, I know I just said that probably she wouldn't be racist towards black people because she's black, but I have to take that one back, because in fact, some of the most racist people against white people are white liberal women with blue hair and septum rings, to a point that I think we need a reevaluation of nomenclature. Maybe they don't even belong to the white race. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say it at this point, because maybe they're not. Maybe they're just separate, biologically created in, biolabs type of thing, umbrella corporation. Maybe they're a separate thing, because the level of self-loathing, I think the majority of hatred against white comes from white liberal women with blue hair and septum rings. I could be wrong, but you tell me. So I was saying, I really appreciate her. It's lovely. Not only it's obvious what she's saying, one would, dare I say, common sense, but these days it's uncommon sense. But what do I know? I'm not even a native speaker of English. I'm just saying to you guys who are Anglophone, you should really write something like to Cambridge, Oxford, whatever, and ask them to change that because it's inappropriate. It's not descriptive because this sense is not common. There's nothing common about common sense. So just pack it in and call it uncommon sense or rare sense, whatever you like. It's your language. Your choice. But she's lovely. She's lovely. What she's saying is great. I love it. Everyone is racist towards everyone to a degree. There is personal preference. It's just that I wouldn't, like, for instance, if you are attracted more by, say, red-haired women with blue eyes or black women with long hair or whatever the heck, Italian women, American blondes, it's your personal preference, and the same way, we have personal preference that is connected to culture. Everyone usually prefers to spend time with people that you share a certain worldview with, okay? It's normal. So, and this happens all the time in all circles. It's just that if white people want to spend more time or live nearby other white people, that's awful. But if black people, which they do, enjoy living with other black people and hang out with other black people, oh, that's fine because we need to respect. At the end of the day, I'm saying, no, it's fine. It's fine. Now, there are people like me. I love foreigners. Not the ones that hate us, of course. But in general, I've always been intrigued. I married one, you know. I've always been intrigued. I lived in Asia. I lived in the UK. I visited all over Europe. I've been to 3 different continents. I'm fascinated by the cultures, other languages, other points of view and histories. But then again, I also enjoy spending time with Sicilians because they understand me. They get me. We look at things the same way. And I wouldn't put that within the racist label. And that's that. To each their own, I suppose. To each their own. But let's continue.
Okay? Black people, Latina people, Pakistani people, I don't care. Nobody owns bonnets. These are phrases I never thought would be coming out of my mouth, but here we are. Now we're gonna move on from hair to language because apparently there are certain phrases and terms that Black people believe they own. Now this is being called AAVE, African American Vernacular English. Other people call it Ebonics, some say slang, but you know what it is. It's these slang terms that are so often getting thrown around in today's culture that Black,
you know, linguistically, because you know me, I call out bullshit, but linguistically, the idea that now it's been described as African American vernacular could make sense. I personally wouldn't even call it slang because it has a certain inflation, it has a certain grammar pattern. Maybe it's not a different vernacular or version of English just yet, but it is going towards that section of linguistics. That's not wrong as a way to say. Wouldn't just call it slang. It's a whole way of speaking that is starting to become its own thing. With that being said, though, let's see the bullshit.
people are claiming and saying, you know what, we invented that, so we get to keep it, and we're calling it African American Vernacular English. Let's watch.
Okay, hold on a minute. I gotta say this, guys. It's gonna get me cancelled, but I gotta say it. You don't want to play this game. We invented it, so we get to keep it, and we are the only ones who can use it. You don't want to play that game with white people. Or Europeans and people of European descent in general. You don't want to play that game with us. You're gonna lose. Doesn't matter who it is. I'm just gonna say it. Also, that would include the entirety of the English language. By the way, even if we keep it to languages, it's going to include the entirety of the language. So what do we do then? What do we do then?
TikTok.
Why can't I use AAVE? You guys are so woke. Oh my, Black people don't want y'all to use AAVE because Black culture has a history of being erased. When non-Black people take on aspects of our culture, they often fail to give us credit, dilute the meanings, and ultimately erase us from our own cultural creations.
Oh yeah, so basically what Nolan is doing with the Odyssey and all of our history and culture. You know what I love, guys? I know I'm always going to make it about Nolan. Doesn't matter. Nolan will be mentioned by me religiously on every video, even if I make a video on freaking Mountain Dew. I'll do it. But I love that it's other black people calling out the nut jobs within that. I do love that. I do appreciate that.
I mean, you got hairstyles stolen, musical styles stolen, inventions stolen, right? So yeah, some black people don't want y'all to use it because they feel that's the only way to protect it from being erased in the same way. But I don't even fully agree with that. I feel like the bare minimum is y'all respecting and acknowledging the roots and the meaning of the language you're using. But I don't know how likely that is because y'all don't like to listen to black people, so.
Okay, so the claim here is that braids and locks have been stolen, as we spoke about before. Music has been stolen, and thus black people must gatekeep their language so as to not have it stolen by white people, just like everything else. Guys,
You know, it's so ridiculous. Braids or plaits, depending on which form of English you use, they have, it's such an, I would say, simple technological invention, if you want to call it that, that it clearly spawned naturally, simultaneously, in all sorts of cultures. We see it in Celtic populations. They were white as shit. We see it with Nordic populations, North, and of course we see it with African populations. With Asian populations, it's something that happens. I don't think anyone can claim the freaking braids. Who can claim the braids? Like, you would have to really go back. I don't know who invented it. Probably prehistoric. If I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably prehistoric.
culture is meant to be shared. It's meant to spread from people to people, and it naturally does so as people interact with one another, as they share things like music and their hairstyles, and they use certain language around one another. These things cannot be owned by a particular group of people, and they should not be owned by a particular group of people. And if you are so sensitive as to feel the need to be acknowledged and thanked and reminded of your contribution to certain languages or music or hairstyles, I have a feeling you're gonna have to get over that. Because
I also love how at the top it says y'all's obsession with AAVE, but as far as I understand, the expression y'all is quite white, quite Bible Belt sounding to me. So I mean, is that cultural appropriation? It always goes. It's so, you see. The one thing I'm going to say, and then I'll get back to the lovely voice of Amala rather than mine. But the one thing I want to say is that the people that complain about cultural appropriation have one thing in common with all of the other nonsense clowns that have to push in these circles their insane takes. It's always unilateral. It's cultural appropriation when you do it. It's not cultural appropriation when we do it. So double standards, rules for me, not for thee. This represents 90% of the nonsense that we've had to deal with for the last 2 decades. And that's when you know that this is not based on, oh, but we want to give representation to groups because we care about marginalized people and minorities. At this point, white people are the global minority. So, I mean, if we really wanted to go for minority at a global level, then shouldn't we? Whatever. But the reality is that if it really was a matter of, but we just want to be nice to people so they feel included. No, this is based on hatred towards a specifically singled out group, which is white people and people of European descent, and for reasons that they're political. They have to do with redistribution of power between power dynamics, in fact, between multiple groups. But it also has to do with direct, genuine hatred. And I'm never going to be convinced otherwise, unless I don't know what kind of evidence you would have to provide to change my mind on that. And the proof of that is that it's unilateral. It's if it was, oh, we hate all forms of cultural appropriation, I would disagree, because personally, who cares? When it comes to the hairstyle, the way you speak, is it cultural appropriation that I learned Japanese? And it's not. It's stupid. What's cultural appropriation is race swapping their history. But it's always like in one direction. So that's why there is nothing genuine about it.
Because naturally, things spread from person to person. And we don't need to go around bowing and acknowledging everything and where it came from all the time. And we should be able to freely share these things, freely speak in the way we want to, create music in the way we want to, and wear our hair in the way that we want to. Now,
she's absolutely right. I wanted to respond to someone in chat. You say, oh, shut up, Metatron. Not gonna happen. Oh, shut up, Metatron. Nobody hates white people, says Jati Bear. All right, guys in chat, why don't we respond to him? Why don't we respond to this clown? You're a clown. I don't care if you're a subscriber. You're a clown. You're a clown because of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they do. And we can prove it. I just don't want to waste my time. So here it is. If you want proof, go on my channel and type, can you be racist to white people? Metatron. You can do it on the Google research, and I've already provided all the receipts. So at this point, if you don't believe it after I proved it on that video, you're a cultist. Because there's only one truth, and I've already proved it. There's plenty of hatred for white people, and I'm just going to do this very quickly. But then, if you want to know the truth, and you care about the truth instead of this lie that they told, maybe you're not a bad person, maybe you've just been brainwashed and it's not your fault, fine. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Okay? This video. YouTube algorithm blocked it, obviously did. Racism against white people is still racism. Can you be racist to white people? Okay. I'm going to speed it, guys, because if you want, you can watch the video. I'm going to speed it up to 3. Look at the beginning and tell me again, there is no such a thing as hatred for white people. This is all hatred for white people. All of this. If you want to look at them one by one, they are on the channel. All right? Now, if you still are going to deny it, after direct evidence, then at that point, I don't know, you might need a crucifix. You might need a little exorcism, my friend. And I hope that they will open your eyes. Iron Maiden, yeah, totally. Thank you, some random. I used to sit with long black kids in school so they had company. That's lovely. And now those same ethnicities throw things at my house because I have an England flag. I hate that. But the reality is, obviously, we shouldn't put all black people in one group because, again, we are watching a black woman and she clearly has no problems with you. But I hate it because what the people that are pushing the kind of anti-white rhetoric that, as you can see, people in chat deny, they are generating racism, even from people maybe like you who naturally were not racist. You were nice to black kids in school, lovely. It's lovely. But now even people like you have been demonized to a point that then it becomes a counterattack. Now, I have sworn with every fiber of my being that I do not want to get to that point. I understand people that do. They get into racism because they are fed up of being called racist so much that they're like, okay, you know, fuck it then. Then I will be it. I'm resisting it with every fiber of my being. It takes a lot of effort because naturally, my heart of hearts, I'm not racist in any way, shape, or form. But I did get to a point that now when people call me racist, I accept the title. I'm fine with it. Cool, great. Can we talk about the data now, or are you still going to waste your time? Because I'm not going to resist it anymore. I used to upset me a lot. I'm just going to speak to you like a brother. I'm just going to speak to you not like an influencer, not like a YouTuber, like a person. It used to really upset me a lot when people were, oh, you're a racist. I'm like, no, I don't do that anymore. It's been too many years now. I just laugh at them. I'm like, okay, fine, great. I'm racist. What's next? It's gone, guys. It's that's what they created. They did it. They created this. I passed. That's why I also understand people like Nick Fuentes and the kind of positions that he holds when someone like Piers Morgan still tries to use that. So are you saying that you're a disgusting racist? And Nick Fuentes goes like, yeah, I'm a racist. What you gonna do about it? You know, I appreciate that because they need to ditch it. They need to, also because I don't believe he actually is. But I appreciate the stance. At this point, you have to do it. It's the only way that these people learn, including Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, very censored. Next. I passed HS German, I sucked, by looking up my lineage. Black Irish connected to the Caliphate in Spain, man. Oh, that's before the Reconquista. And the Spanish Armada, 1588, my granddad I never met, told Irish immigrants to speak plain American. Wow. Well, I can see that there's a lot to say about that, like the evolution and preservation on certain regional dialects as opposed to the general language. That could be a good video, basically, for the second channel. Inquisitor Magnus tells us racist is just an anti-white slur that should never be used. I understand that. I think there are a lot of people these days that identify as anti-racist, but in reality they're the most racist of all. Totally. I don't call myself an anti-racist. I never will. I will consider I'm not racist if someone actually asks me. If a troll does it, I'll tell you whatever you want to tell. Yeah, I'm a fascist, I'm Nazi, whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you like. Okay, great. I'm a far-right grifter. Fine. But if I'm speaking to someone with real intent, we're actually having a conversation, of course I'll say, no, I'm not racist. But I will never call myself anti-racist, because you're right. You're absolutely right. And when you're right, you're right. Let's go.
Some people are actually letting these rules affect them. Here is a white girl using a phrase that she finds out is African-American vernacular English, and then she snatches it out of her vocabulary. Let's watch.
Fan behavior. Sorry, I think it's probably, I think it's giving is probably, it's giving AAVE. Yep. Okay, so we're just going to try to remove that from our vocabulary. Pretty easy. You are showcasing fan behavior.
Guys, is this how we want to live? Constantly policing ourselves, self-censoring ourselves for the sake of other people?
Not a chance. Not a chance, because it will never end. They will always find a reason. One more thing. You can't say that. You can't say this. Now this is not acceptable. Now you need to say this. Now you have to say, okay, let me tell you what that leads to, because it already happened. An individual who menstruates instead of female. You can't say female. It's an individual who menstruates. You can't say mother, one of the most beautiful and ancient words ever uttered by our species. No, it's birthing parent. You won't find me dead following these policing of language, because the reason why there is so much focus on language control, including in academic circles, it's because with children, they can indoctrinate them to think what they like. And so whatever now these indoctrinated children think will be expressed by their voice, and the voice will spread the propaganda. But with adults, it's harder, because many of us resist, which is why, since they know they can't change, it's difficult to change an adult's mind and manipulate it to whatever shape you want. Then you will control the language, because if you control the language, even if I disagree with you, I will still spread your message. Not a fucking chance. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I spewing facts or am I wrong?
People and what they say must be gate-kept, what they say we're allowed to engage in. And if we actually do that and follow these things to their logical conclusion, will we ever speak again? As so much of what we say is derived from other cultures, so much of what we wear comes from other cultures, our hair and the way we do it comes from other cultures, the technology that we engage with each other on comes from other cultures.
Obviously, she's absolutely right. And there's one thing she said I wanted
actually
to
do that and follow these things to their logical conclusion. Will we ever speak again? As so much of what we say is derived from other cultures, so much of what we wear comes from other cultures, our hair and the way we do it comes from other cultures, the technology that we engage with each other on comes from other cultures. Literally nothing would get done if we had to bow down and acknowledge everything, or if, God forbid, we had to remove so many of these things out of our lives because they don't belong to us or our skin color.
Once again, you don't want to play that game with white people. You don't want to play that game.
Please make it make sense. And when I say we're getting down to the nitty-gritty with these things, listen to this next video.
White people should not be allowed to sit on stoops in Bed-Stuy.
Wow, 100% man. Oh, disagree. Let the white people sit on the stoop.
Oh my God.
If they want to sit on the stoop, let them sit on the damn stoop.
It looks bad.
It does.
Oh, you know, you could always leave this country if you don't like the way white people sit in their own country. Am I right?
It does look bad. It's aesthetically, it's not as good.
It's aesthetically not as good, especially for Bed-Stuy as a neighborhood. Those historic brownstones and just everything about it. I mean, I have lived in Bed-Stuy for 12 years, and I do not sit on my stoop. I take one for the team, and I feel like as more and more white people are moving into Bed-Stuy and messing up the vibes and having like our...
The audacity on these people will never cease to amaze me. The audacity on these people that then turn around and say, but I can't be racist because of my skin tone, but you? Oh, come on, give me a break. Thank you, Amala, for bringing back a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to say thank you for the kind of TikToks you exposed me to, but then again, I appreciate the common sense takes. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Everybody go watch the original video, and I think I'm gonna limit it at that. Being bald and Irish, I protest hairless others. Exactly. Cultural appropriation to bald people. To bald people. People like the ones we saw on Rumble, we're told. People like the ones we saw always play ultimate victim and would never see reason. So at this point, I just point and laugh at them. Yeah, totally. It is. It's a laugh at them in their face. And maybe deport a few of them if they are, here illegally. In fact, every single one of them who's here illegally should be deported is my take. But what can I say? Next. Let's move to the next one, guys. It's a busy, busy, busy stream. It is a very busy stream, my friends. What's next? What is next that we're going to cook today? Okay. Let's give some space to the Greeks. Greeks speak out against controversial casting of new Odyssey movie. I'm going to give some time to my dear friends in Greece to have their words. Let's see. A backlash over the questionable casting choices in Christopher Nolan's upcoming film adaptation of the Odyssey by Homer started early this year when it was revealed that Helen of Troy would be played by Kenyan-Mexican actress Lupita Nyong'o. What a combo. A.k.a. Helen of Congo. And it has not really subsided since. Already when it comes to this, isn't it interesting how dense of information this whole situation with Christopher Nolan is? I could really make 500 more videos and never run out of it. I could make a dedicated channel to it, and in fact, I might at one point. But it just came to my attention. You know how we had the discussion the other day, how the translation of the Odyssey, it's male translators is not good, and but if it's someone like Emily Wilson, she really translated it in the best way possible because she removed all of those awful male perspectives that were injected into the text by the male translator and recreated the real position of the original author. You know what just struck to me? The original author, Homer, was male, though. So, I mean, there is that. So it's basically the equivalent of mansplaining the other way around. It's a woman telling us how a man in ancient Greece thought, but a modern woman. Isn't that phenomenal? Homer was a man. Homer! Now we got another twist in the story. All right, let's go. I'm all for twists. I love twists. Given that Odyssey is one of the best-known marvels of ancient Greek culture in the world, which is why the culture vultures want to steal it, it is only prudent that the heirs of that culture, modern-day Greeks, should be heard about the newest adaptation of Homer's work. Based. Space on Greece. Space. You know what? Do you remember when my dear friend of the channel, Shad, used to say, but what about dragons? But what about dragons? I'm going to say, but what about the Greeks? Every time I hear one of these clowns that try to defend these casting, whatever, when they tell choices and they tell, no, but I've explained to you because I have a degree in this, I have a degree in that. Well, you know what? Greeks have a degree in being Greek. So all of them, it's like a birthright. You've got the dragon-born and you've got the Greek-born. So due to the fact that ancient Greece belongs to Greece, then I'm going to say, well, what about the Greeks? Every time. Because if the entirety of the country of Greece was like, oh, we love it. We absolutely love it. You're all a bunch of bigots. This is amazing. We think as a people, the Greek people, Evcharisto, Kalimera, Kalispera, Kalinichta, if they all thought we all together love the casting of the Odyssey, it would be a little hard. I mean, I would still say I hate it, but I would have to be a little more prudent, as they say, because I would be like, I don't know, guys, though. I mean, the Greeks like it. But they don't. They hate it. They absolutely hate it. So what about the Greeks? That's what I'm going to say. What about the Greeks? Thank you, Craftman, for the support. You guys have been amazing during the stream. I'm a white indigenous American, love both, and enrolled in my tribal nation. That's awesome. In fact, you know, I've always wanted to meet in person an American Indian or a Native American, if that's what you mean by, yeah, indigenous American, that's what you mean. And by the way, how would you like to be called? Because I know some Native Americans like Native Americans, and some Native Americans actually do prefer the term American Indian, which is why whenever I get like certain individuals tell me, you have to say Native American, don't say American Indian, I tell them, shut up and let me ask one of them, because if you tell me, you, not the freaking people that want to control my language, they're going to go fuck themselves. But if you tell me you're a nice person, clearly you're here, you donated to the stream, I appreciate you. So if you tell me, no, I actually prefer Native American, I'll call you Native American. But if you tell me, no, American Indian is cool, and I don't care what they think, Anyways, there is groups of blacks claiming they are the original, say we stole their culture. Of course, yeah, the Afrocentrists think they are everything. They're Japanese shogun, they're Mongolians, they are Italians, they're Romans, they're Greeks, they're everything. We name them that word, now is a racist for blacks. I see. Well, of course, obviously. I can see that. I can see that, my friend. But thank you for supporting the stream. It's cool to have you here. Very, very cool. Very cool. Craftsman, really appreciate that. Very cool. All right. Legally, it's American Indian. Native American is also now being used by white side. I see why. You prefer American Indian. There you go, guys. Thank you to this dear American Indian who has decided to join the stream. Awesome. Awesome. There are quite a few who are mixed in here. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. See, he asked me politely. I comply. That's what I do because I'm a polite individual. Polite individual. But if someone tells me it's ma'am and they scream it in my face, not a chance in heaven or hell or Hades or whatever the heck. Okay, let's continue. Thank you for that. The Greeks. Well, now they are having their say on the subject. Wonderful. An open letter on the website Greek City Times was published on Monday, 25th of May. I'm going to open it. In it, the author stresses that Greek people did not disappear after the age of myth. This is the most based thing I've ever seen this entire month. Greek culture was not frozen in classical marble, of course. Greek language was not extinguished in antiquity. Yes, we are still here. Man, that's powerful. Look at the Greeks. Man, that's amazing. Greeks standing against Nolan. This is making my day. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm going to put a link to this letter. This is beautiful. Yeah, we did not vanish, all right? Absolutely. Absolutely. They also refrain from completely going against ahistorical casting for the sake of modern diversity sensitivities. Instead, what the author speaks out against is their piece is ironically a lack of representation. Yes, that of actual Greek actors in the portrayal of a Greek mythological story. I mean, given. You know, two things can be true at the same time. So there is a lack of Greek representation. There is a lot of race swapping given, but there is also disgusting, historically inaccurate costumes, right? So, I mean, both things are not mutually exclusive. They're both trash. So at this time, it's fine. If you don't want to complain about the armor, I'll do that for you. But I understand that you're putting priority on the thing that matters the most, meaning the lack of Greek representation. Absolutely. We ask that when Greek stories are retold on a global stage, Greek people are not rendered invisible within them. Guys, they are right. Greek people. 100%. This is getting edited and posted as its own video, by the way, on this channel. Let's push this. Let's push it. Absolutely. Let's give him a voice. Greek people are not rendered invisible within them. He goes on to write, in recent years, the film industry has rightly placed increasing emphasis on representation, ensuring the cultures are acknowledged, voiced are included, and lived experiences is not erased in the process of storytelling, which, of course, I would have nothing against were it not for the race swapping. One moment. Phone call. Just a report on the baby by the wife. Everything is good. All right, so indigenous stories increasingly involve indigenous voices, culture. Yeah, exactly. And Europeans are indigenous of Europe, which is something that now they're saying is not true. Believe it or not, I've got a dedicated video. Guys. Cultural consultation is becoming more standard practice. Identity is treated as part of our artistic responsibility. We ask only that this awareness extends to Greek heritage as well. It's an absolutely based and fair thing to ask, but it's a problem because I hate saying that, but you're not considered oppressed group. So your representation means nothing, and your cultural heritage is up for grabs. Isn't that true? Only facts on this channel. The irony has only thickened with a recently resurfaced clip of Lupita Nyong'o speaking about black representation in the American film industry. Yeah, because again, that's the oppressed. That's the oppressed category. While promoting the 2018 superhero film Black Panther, she spoke of the importance of accurate and authentic representation of African culture in modern film. Hypocrite. Hypocrite. You know, I'm starting to understand why Jesus Christ our Lord used hypocrite so many times in the gospel. Literally. The kindest, most good being in the entirety of the universe couldn't stand hypocrisy. Called them out. One by one. Hypocrite, he said. I can see it. I understand it. 100%. However, now she's showing no such concern about white European or more specifically Greek culture. Isn't this true? None of the main cast of the 2026 Odyssey movie, Matt Damon in the role of Odysseus, Tom Holland, and all the people, Lupita Nyong'o, we know that, have Greek ancestry. Famous Hollywood actor with Greek ancestry include Jennifer Aniston, John Stamos, and Zach. You know, I'm gonna look them up. Sorry, I misclicked. I'm gonna look them up. Let's see, Jennifer. Let's give some space to Greek actors right now. Let's see what they look like. It's gonna be great. Something is telling me they're not gonna look like black Africans, but that's just a hint. An inch. Let's see. Oh, I think, yeah, Jennifer, yeah, there we go. It's a Greek actress. John Stamos, cool. Look at this guy. This guy looks fun. It looks fun. We could go out, have a beer. Pita. Heroes, Zach. Look at this guy too. This guy's cool. Yeah, totally. Okay, great. We gave them a little space. I love it. The backlash by the Greek community over representation of their history is that I love how we are using the word representation back against them, back at them, attack them with their own weapons. I freaking love it, guys. I freaking love it. I don't know what to tell you. It's making my day. Let's see. Of the history in an American production is very much reminiscent of the reactions from Egypt after the casting of black actress Adil James as Queen Cleopatra of Egypt in the 2023 Netflix miniseries. Now, I agree generally with this statement, but I would like to say it's not just similar. I think the Egyptians trying to sue Netflix was based. The fact that Netflix dared to call it a documentary is scandalous. But can we also remember, Cleopatra was Greek. So I appreciate that it's Egyptian history, so the Egyptian government is like, the fuck are you doing, bro? I get it. But it's again Greek Eurasia. It's Greek Eurasia even with Cleopatra. Cleopatra was Greek. And it wasn't just Cleopatra because I watched it. I'm a masochist like that. I watched because I have to make my own videos. It's not just Cleopatra. It's the entirety of the Ptolemy family. They turned them all black. It wasn't just Cleopatra. All of them. So they couldn't even use the excuse, which is false, that Afrocentrists pushed, that is a lie, where they say, well, we don't know, Cleopatra could have been of mixed heritage because we don't have her body, and yeah, we got statues, descriptions, whatever. But they say, no, she could have been half black because maybe, you know, her father had a black woman from Africa, from Egypt, which is like, even if it was a native Egyptian, which they didn't, because the Ptolemaic dynasty was one of the most inbred because they wanted to preserve the purity of their genes. Mentioning Sydney Sweeney, great genes. So there is that. So the likelihood of that happening for anyone who understands the history is like close to null. But even if it were the case that he was like, no, you know what? Fuck that. I don't care. I'm going to marry a local Egyptian. Yeah, then it could have been, it automatically doesn't mean they're black because nobody believes in academia unless you're a cultist activist. No one within Egyptology believes that the ancient Egyptians were black. Some were. maybe closer to with a higher percentage, closer, in the upper Egypt, as opposed to the Delta region. It would have been a minority. So even if you want to roll your dice, and yeah, some Egyptians would have been black, majority wouldn't have been black. It would have been half Egyptian, meaning not black, and half Greek, even in that situation. But it's not the case. It's not the case. She was Greek. We know she was Greek. So it's once again Greek deletion, even with Cleopatra, I'd like to underline, because they're forgetting that. Nyong'o is not the only controversial casting choice for Christopher Nolan's upcoming film, The Odyssey. I agree. Achilles, that's not real. This is not a kid's knife. But yeah, we got the rapper though. Look at this ancient Greek storyteller, guys. Doesn't this scream ancient Greek storytelling? I think it does. Absolutely, that's an ancient Greek storyteller, just like look at this, guys. I want to show you a picture of a West African warrior. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Look at this West African warrior. Wow. Fantastic casting choice. I love it. Man, when I see this picture, all I think about is West Africa. West Africa. It's the skill of the actor that matters, am I right? That's what they say. It's the skill of the actor that matters, not their looks. Not their looks. Bunch of clowns. Clown World. Achilles, the legendary Greek warrior, will be portrayed by transgender actor Elliot Page. Yeah, no, you're misinterpreting. Hungarian conservative, come on, man. Hungarian conservative, you gotta do this right. It's not being confirmed, so I'm gonna call you out on this. Don't push it as if it was, because it's not. We don't know that. Meanwhile, this one is true. Rapper Travis Scott, who has a major controversy of his own after the fatal crowd crush at his 2021 concert in Houston, Texas, I don't know anything about that, will be appearing as rapping bard in the picture. I never would have thought that the words rapping and bard would have ever been uttered by my mouth in the entirety of my existence on this plane of existence. And I played D&D since the 1980s, guys. Yeah. So bards and whatnot, when they introduced the class, I was there. But rapping bard, not even freaking D&D did it. And yet Christopher Nolan managed to create the multi-class rapping bard. Rapping bard. Let me have a look at super chats. Then I think I'm going to call it a day. Yeah, no, I think I'm up to speed with all super chats. Guys, it's been a fantastic stream. Believe it or not, I have a lot more prepared. But I'm going to have to I'll go spend a little time now with the wife and the little child before she goes to bed, with my beautiful son named after Alexander the Great, in honor on Alexander the Great, my beautiful son Alexander. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. This is the last stream for this month, but we're going to resume streaming again in June. Probably I'm going to stick to Fridays when it comes to streaming here, but when it comes to, so on YouTube, but when it comes to Twitch and Rumble, possibly Kick, I'll try to stream throughout the week as well. So if you don't follow me on those platforms, please do so. I will give you now, as we end the stream, a little reference so you can screenshot it or take a picture with your phone, and you can go and follow me in any other platform that we do. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to leave it on for a little bit, but for everyone else, thank you so much for joining the stream, and have a fantastic rest of the week, and thank you for your support. Stay based, guys. Bye.